So in role of woman, you have to take various dimensions. Now, what will you write in that? Social, economic, and various dimensions. When you are bifurcating the social, economic, political. So just have an example. कि social में ये चीजें हैं. अब now just in these 4 lines, just this is important that India and US are helpful. Apart from it, like what is currency swap, you need to have a definition that it is an off-balance sheet transaction. Just highlight that. No, on daily basis it is not needed. Whenever you see an article that is very related to ethics or very related to any of the general studies paper, like any article has come on education system or national education policy and what all reform it needs, so you can obviously have its notes.
Hello Ayasha, how are you?
I am fine, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir.
The pleasure is all ours, and I'm glad to have you here today. And I'm glad to see a lot of you over here. You will be interacting with Ayasha today. And those who were living under the rock so far, they will not know who she is, but otherwise she was all over the news channels. Okay. So there was this identity crisis, identity theft that happened with the UPSC this year. So she is the real Ayasha Fatima. Some other person from the same Madhya Pradesh, she claimed to be Ayasha, and eventually UPSC had to come out and give a press release. She is the real Ayasha Fatima, and she is the actual rank holder of rank 184, and she will be joining Indian Police Services from here on. So she had been a viral thing. Even people who were not doing anything about UPSC were commenting about the whole stuff. And let's hear it from her. How has been the journey? First of all, tell us that ordeal that you faced.
So my journey has been very long and very tiring one. जब तक result नहीं आया था तब तक भी, because I took 4 attempts, 3 attempts में I could not clear prelims, and this was my 4th attempt. So this was the first time that I cleared prelims, and this was the very first time that I sat for mains and interview Sara. And it became a very long and very tiring journey. And at the end, when you get the name in holy PDF, and you become very relieved कि हाँ चलो हो गया, if not for IS, but you have gone for IPS. So I was a little bit of satisfied कि हाँ चलो ठीक है, हो चुका है, selection तो हो ही गया है. So लेकिन फिर जब सर ये सारा आया कि identity theft and all that thing, so that was also a long journey for me. 2-3 days were also very tiring and very controversial as well, sir. Audio is not available. I think so it's available, right?
Rest of you, can you hear us, right?
Sir, audible, we can hear.
Okay. Yes. So what was your first reaction?
Sir, to the result.
First of all, to the result, and then to the controversy.
Okay, sir. So first, when the result came, actually my friend Hardik called me and said, you have been selected. And it was my mother was sitting beside and she overheard it. She started crying. So I also had 1 or 2 tears, but I was more into the feeling that I have to be I haven't got into IS, but I was eventually happy. And then, sir, when the controversy started kicking in, I was very patient because I knew that the result is mine and the roll number is mine. And eventually I called, there is some or the other tension that goes around. So I called UPSC for the same, that see, please, these things are going on. What shall I be doing? So they said, please relax yourself. Nothing will happen if you are a genuine candidate. So you don't need to worry about it. So sir, tension was there, but I was keeping a brave face. Everything is fine.
Yes. So basically, this was a unique attempt because apart from you, there was this other identity issue between a person called Tushar.
Yes,
if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So whenever I heard about it, I read it in the newspapers or I saw it on the TV channels. Even you were viral on Instagram. Okay.
Acha.
Trust me, the pages, the feeds that are not supposed to go after UPSC news, even they were carrying your face and that other person's face. Okay. And the moment I saw your UPSC admit card, I realized, you see, this has the watermark. Okay, it has the proper QR code. And it is a genuine thing.
Yes, sir.
So, did you ever talk to that person?
No, sir. I did not have a chance, and I wish to talk to her that what was going in her mind, but not had a chance to talk to actually to her, sir.
It is going to be a good ethical case studies.
Yes, sir.
Because I remember I gave my first attempt in 2012. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that year, what happened? The same issue happened, but at that time, what happened? A person claimed it was not about the identity issue, but the thing was that a person claimed to his family that he had cleared the examination. Okay. Back then, there was this. There was not this thing. They were publishing the names and the roll numbers. Okay, for prelims and mains as well. So what happened? Maybe that person he gave the roll number to his families, okay, to check. And as luck would have it, जो fake roll number उसने use किया था अपने घर वालों को बताने के लिए, eventually that person cleared the examination.
Oh.
So now his family said कि this roll number is our son's roll number, but the name is not the same.
Oh.
Okay. And eventually UPSC had to clarify way back in 2013. If I remember May 2013. He boss, the roll number and the name of the students are correct. It is your son who is claiming to have that roll number. He did not clear the examination. In fact, he did not even sit for the examination that year.
Achha.
Yes.
So I don't know what goes into mind. Either it is peer pressure or just like proving your family ki haan, we are doing something. I don't know what goes into mind for doing such fake claims. Like one should refrain from such things. Like you have your own successes and failure. Don't take a part of others' success. I would just say that.
Exactly. See, it is a lot because of the factor that we are, the environment that is around us.
Yes.
I'll tell you one example. There's a senior of mine. Okay, currently he's a DPSP in Bihar, and he used to tell us one incident. He was when he was growing up, when he was in BITS Mishra. So whenever he used to come back to home, his uncle, his chacha used to tell him, "अच्छा वो देखो लड़का जा रहा है, इसने prelims clear कर रखा है. अच्छा वो लड़का देखो जा रहा है, उसने prelims clear कर रखा है." That means कि see that person he has cleared the prelims. So in small towns, even clearing the prelims becomes quite an important event.
Yes,
so
sir.
Sometimes people want that attention as well. But let's see. Hopefully the better sense prevails. Okay, and
yes.
Hopefully no one else do this from here on. So let's get back to the point why all the rest of the 81 people have joined with us, and that is that you have become quite famous in terms of your note making as well.
Okay, sir.
Yes, your notes has become quite popular, and we were told that you have this really good knack of creating notes which are suitable for clearing both prelims and mains. So tell us something about the importance of note making.
Sir, notes making are like they are like the repository of your knowledge. Like in UPSC, you have so much of wider resources, and आपको हमेशा there will be a need to revise a lot. So for that, sir, I used to do कि जब भी कुछ भी पढ़ा है, so digital note making एक part में रहता था, that was more of an value addition. And जो आप जो books में पढ़ रहे हो, that is an another thing. Either you can combine both, but that would take time. तो मैंने क्या किया था कि डिजिटल पे whatever resources, like if I am reading Civilsdaily daily, like their news articles, so whatever things that I got कि हाँ ये इस article में just 1 or 2 lines are important for me, I used to just screenshot it and paste it with my digital notes. So that would help me कि जब भी अगर मैंने as such say कि society उठाया, and I will be having an ample of examples with me when I look at the digital notes कि हाँ ये चीजें हुई थी, and I can use them thoroughly in my final exam. So that was for mains. And फिर prelims के लिए भी like that news and that examples can be used for a wider knowledge की base बनता जाएगा. And prelims में भी वो काम आता जाएगा for understanding. Like UPSC has gone more into an analytical mode now. They are not into the factual mode कि सिर्फ ये आपको facts आता है, so you will be scoring nice. They have got into more analytical, like we had the question of InVITs right this year. So that would help you कि हाँ कोई सा भी कहीं पे भी रहेगा. So it will help you कि for knowledge enhancement and revision of the same. So I think so that both should be made simultaneously. जैसे book पढ़ रहे हो तो that will be your offline notes, and digitally you can make the online notes that will help you in content enhancement.
Okay, so I'll come to this digital versus offline wala thing
Yes.
later on. And meanwhile, everyone who is attending the webinar, if you want to ask any question with Ayasha, you can type us in the chat regarding the note making, and at the end of the webinar, we will take up those questions. Okay, you can type those questions in the chat box. So coming back, Ayasha, first of all, tell us the difference between note taking from current perspective and static perspective.
So static perspective, you don't have to highlight each and everything. Just मतलब जो आपका जो आपको help करेगा sentence formation में. Like if you are reading modern history, so you don't have to make notes of whole of the Rajiv Ahir. Just have what all things are written in that. कि जैसे if social reformers you are reading, so if you are reading Raja Ram Mohan Roy, let's say for an example, so it will help you कि वहां पे सिर्फ और सिर्फ highlight कर दो कि what are the examples and just write whatever things has he done. You don't need to write कि he has done. Just write that he has made Brahmo Samaj and all this thing. Now sentence formation is not needed for you. कि if you know कि content है, you will be able to write कि हाँ क्या क्या notes हैं, notes में से पढ़ते आ जाएगा. Apart from it sir कि जब ये offline notes बना रहे हो, like for society you might need, क्योंकि society में it becomes very crucial to know each and everything. Like if you are taking parts of communalism or any of the things mentioned, role of women in society, like it is mentioned in syllabus GS paper 1. So in role of woman you have to take various various dimensions. Now what will you write in that? Social, economic and various dimensions when you are bifurcating the social, economic, political. So just have an example कि social में ये चीजें हैं, like in if we see in cultural also we have significance like the Kalbelia dance if you can write. So that will help you in connecting various aspects of you. कि not only this, there is one of the songs that are only sung by women, like the Thumri songs type in Rajasthan, that are only sung by women. So that would help you कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ वहां पे social, political, economic लिख दिया and examples of that. Now whenever you will be writing that answer, now you will be having examples. So आप उसके पहले sentence बना दो कि like for social and cultural aspects, women play a vital role, like the Kalbelia dance and the Thumri songs. So that will help you. ये पहले हो जाएगा. So I think so I did like that only कि society में सारे questions and society में each part of the syllabus had its own notes.
Exactly. And what about the current affairs part?
So current affairs में यही है कि examples जो भी आपको दिख रहे हैं, like if you can see the changing role of society or the changing nature of society in Western and India, so you can obviously write the French riots, like how they have become more into anti-establishments and anti-policing, while we at our end want more policing at our end for security reasons, and they are looking towards decreasing the police force. So that becomes a very important example that how you can understand the current with your society or the international relations or the changing nature of politics in your questions. So I think so that current you have to definitely link with static portion, because that will help you the examiner will know that you are not a bookworm, but you actually know how to apply the knowledge, sir.
Exactly. And while you were talking to Rohit sir a couple of days ago in the Raw and Real video, you showed him some notes, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you please show us?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. I'm just sitting beside you.
It will help our aspirants as well.
Like, sir, this were the just for the world history. I just had this like paper notes that helped me like revising. I just kept it on my library's wall. So these are like the notes. It has the French Revolution. So it just mentioned that Louis XVI was there, and there was Estates General and all the things. Just the mention of all the events are there. Not whole like the
exactly
directory role, not whole of the things. You can write at your own language. If you will be having examples now, so it will be better to write. Like for this was for world history. Now, if we come to environment, so just like the uranium reserves, I had made a very like a lucid map that just we have this like the Dam Safety Act. What are the things that are there in Dam Safety Act? Just the points of it that what are they? We overall know that it is an environmental and social political act for reserving our resources and also to utilize them sustainably. Now you can write that as an introduction, but what will be you writing in the parts of it? It will require some technical terms. So just technical terms you can highlight that what all are there. So it will help you a lot, I think.
I tell this to my students. This is a very good example. Thanks a lot for sharing this, because I have been telling this to people around me, people who are junior to me, people who are students in Civilsdaily, that for the crisp note, you don't have to write everything.
Yes,
otherwise
sir.
It will become a book.
Yes, sir.
And if I'm not wrong, then secondly, you have to write only those stuff which you think you will forget down the line.
Yes, sir. Like these are the technical terms. You will forget them. That the two state bodies have been made in Dam Safety Act. So if you don't know the name, you will be just writing a generalized term that two state bodies. But the act mentions the name of the state bodies. So that state body is like I cannot recall it right now, but I wrote it down at the point where the mains was arriving. I had all the technical terms. Yeah, we have to use this and this terms.
Okay, and tell me one thing more. There's a lot of question that comes to us when it comes to note making about whether we should go for prelims notes making or not.
Sir, I think so that not for prelims, you should not go for prelims note making because I made notes in 2020 for prelims, but there were many facts that are overlooked eventually. And they were asked in the final exam. So if you know that what will be asked or what not will be asked, so you can make notes of it. But I don't suggest because, so like question of Gopal Singh Agarkar was asked in 2020 prelims, and it was written in spectrum. But I did not find it too like important to write it in my notes. So I completely overlooked that part. And when the question came, I was completely blank that who is this individual? I don't know. But when I came and looked in the book, it was written over there, and I felt very bad because even one marks counts, and I could not clear prelims by 1 marks in that attempt. So that was like, if I would have done that question, I would have studied the book, not from the notes. So that would have helped me more. So I think so, sir, for prelims, just the reference books are needed. If you want, you can make notes of current affairs, but not of the standard reference books, sir.
Okay, that is what I failed to do in my first attempt, and thankfully I failed to do it. People used to tell me back then, you have to make notes, you have to make notes for prelims, but eventually I found it very cumbersome.
Yes,
instead,
sir.
I focused for the GS mains part. Okay, you just a couple of seconds ago, you said you can make the notes for current affairs perspective in prelims, right? So what should be that idea?
Sir, like current affairs is also majorly interlinked with our static. So not of each and everything, because you won't be eventually able to remember the things. And I think so current affairs has very less cost benefit ratio. So your book will, if you take off 1 year and you start making notes for current affairs for the next term, you might have like 5 to 10 days, 5 to 10 pages for each day, like at least 2 to 3 pages you might have. So that book at the end of May will be around, like your notes will be around 600 pages. So you won't be able to revise it. So just the ones that have the interlinkage with the static portion, like in economics, when something you think that it is important, if you see the Fed tapering or something like that, and you haven't read it in your standard book, so you can make note of that thing, that a number of this keyword is getting used a lot. So that will help, like Fed tapering, I said, that will help for this and this you have made notes, and it will eventually help, sir.
Okay, couple of more questions before we move to a live exercise of making notes. Okay, what's the difference between having an offline notes like in a proper notepad or on a paper versus having notes on a digital device, let's say a mobile phone or a tablet or a laptop?
Sir, digital notes are for that things that will help you in that needs a lot of upgradation. Things are very changing in that perspective. So like international relations, you cannot make notes like on notepad because everything is changing. So yes, you can have notes where we had the past with certain countries like US. You can take that we also had cultural and social political relations back then also. So that you can make, but for dynamic things, I suggest that digital notes are helpful. And if you are making it on the notepad one, so that should be more of a static portion. Just say for modern history, you can just have the NCM and what all the things like various components like participants, what was the reach of the movement, and why was it called off, was it success or a failure, and why what impact did it left on the society, or what impact did it left on the future Congress working. So that will help these things you can write. So for notepad, I would suggest that static notes or reference book notes, and for things that are dynamic, I would suggest digital notes.
Okay, someone has just asked the relevant question, the topic that we were discussing. Can you suggest some app in terms of digital note making?
Sir, I use OneNote. You can either use Evernote also. I used to use Evernote, but what happened was that when I arranged all the files, so it took it as a new file. So it told me that I have used my limit, and it was just 7th or 6th of the month. So my monthly limit was over. So I eventually moved to OneNote, and I found it pretty useful because you can make notes and sub pages of it. So it is helpful. OneNote you can make, and also because I used to study from iPad, so it was convenient to write in OneNote than in Evernote. So I would suggest OneNote, and if you're using Evernote, that is also fine, sir.
Okay. For other people who do not have this mean, you can also use Google Doc.
Yes,
Google
sir.
Doc, it is a good thing. You can carry it everywhere in your pocket. Okay. And one last thing. What about paper 4? Paper 4 note making.
So paper 4 mein, I think so that notes of only definitions and examples and quotes are needed, sir. Like anecdotes if you can find, or a relevant shloka you can find that can be used in ethics, or like various examples you can use, like for corruption you can always use the saying of Kautilya that corruption is so wide in our society, we cannot divide whether it is like a fish that is swimming. You cannot tell whether it is drinking water or swimming in it. So it is said that how corruption is widespread and you cannot divide it. So for that, like this type of quotes, like there is a saying of Swami Vivekanand ji that the devotion to duty is the highest form of worship. So that you can use, like for deontological ethics you can use. So such type of quotes that can be helpful for ethics, you can write that. What I used to do was that such quotes when I used to get encountered with, so I took a screenshot of it and put it as my wallpaper. So it helped me revise it again and again. So like there is a quote of Benjamin Franklin that investment in the education is the highest, gives you the major profit. So for education, you can use that. So it will, sorry, it was by Edmund Burke. So it will help you that whatever the things that have been said by these people, you will remember it if you see that wallpaper even for a week. So, and change it weekly. So this quotes, when people say that quotes are difficult to grasp, so you can use it as a wallpaper. You can use like seeing it day and night. So it will be in your subconscious mind and it will be helpful. So for ethics, just the definition, examples, quotes, and whatever things that you can find in your value part. So.
Got it. So basically, we have covered the basic dilemmas of note making. If you are okay, can I share you one note and can you please help my students to understand? Ki, acha, if I read this current affairs right now, what are the important elements? I'm not sharing the current news. I have a PDF in front of me. It is way back. It is 2 years old. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I was just going through my content and I saw this. So just tell my people, ki, acha, if we are going to make notes, then what are the important elements that you can take from that particular article?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Just give me a minute. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically it was an article regarding dollar swap, okay, with US Fed. So you can go through the whole article, and if you can help my students catch up, what are the elements that they need to incorporate while making the notes?
Sir, if you're asking for currency swap, so you can see in the first only that we are working with US. So first becomes the India-US relationship. Now, currency swap, like this was way back, but we have also been in talks with Russia for it. So you can also highlight that we are also talking with Russia. We are also talking to counter CAATSA. We are trying to talk with Iran on this as well. Currency swap will be helpful for also bypassing dollars need. So that becomes like a currency swap, like India-US agreement. Now, just in these 4 lines, just this is important that India and US are helpful. Apart from it, like what is currency swap, you need to have a definition that it is an off-balance sheet transaction. Just highlight that it is an off-balance sheet transaction, because you don't need to have like cross-currency swap. Obviously, we know that it is a cross-currency swap. It is for our own understanding that India and the rupee and dollar will be swapped. You don't have to write it. You won't have that much of word and time limit as well. So just write that off-balance sheet transactions and in different currencies. Then comes the purpose. Purpose is like the lower exposure rate and reduce cost of foreign borrowing. So just highlight this part, or just have the 1 or 2, just the technical terms that I am saying, that will help you. Now, why do we need dollar? So RBI data is obviously very helpful. That will help you in writing various answers, like in PSIR also. If you are a person of PSIR or economics, it can help you in writing that how dollar has a significant impact on the international relations. So RBI data is obviously helpful, that 63% of Indian foreign currency assets are held in US Treasury. And also, like, you can also link it with the forex reserve that are mainly in dollar. So like this, you can interlink the topics as well. Forex reserves are also there, while US Treasury also India foreign currency assets are there. Like FPIs and shortfall, FPI investors, just highlight like safer investments. Just highlight that, and no need to highlight third point. Like you can write it, the foreign exchange reserves, it will balance out, and cannot lower
lower their guard on the management. It does not need to be there, if I'm not wrong.
It does not need to be there. It is just for your understanding that why do we need dollar. So it is not needed to write each and everything, just the technical terms that can be helpful. Data is obviously helpful because it is factual. So that will also enrich your answer, and it will also justify that objectivity part that they look for. The civil servant should be objective. So that will help you. And now, how does a facility work? Just have a general idea with it. What are there, and if just having the technical terms, if it is there, so just highlight that. But I cannot see any technical terms, so I will just read it for my own understanding and go through it. Ho jayega, I will be able to write it. But this just one thing that you need to highlight in this is that it does not have any exchange rate or other market risk. So it will help you in understanding, because they are set in advance. The transaction rates are set in advance. So they does not have to be like the exchange rate or market risk, that how much government of India or the dollar is at this point of time. So it will help when you are writing an answer, if a question is asked on currency swap, so it will help you what are the benefits of it, because exchange rate stability is there. Benefits, so you have already highlighted that benefits are there, like absence of risk is there, and it provides flexibility to use reserves, and liquidity, long-term liquidity as well, because we have a transaction, a predefined transaction rate. So it will help in stability overall and bring it more FPI and FDI, because if a currency swap has been made, so it becomes a major, what I could say, major trust between the two countries, that we are having a major trust in you. So it helps that in currency swap, you can also write that it enlarges India's hard power and soft power, because India's currency will be required more. So like China's currency is required more, so it has an upper hand in the international transactions. So it will make India also has a greater hold, and it will be beneficial in long run, and it will strengthen India's role in overall international politics.
Right. So guys, as you could see, this is how we have to move forward while reading any current affairs. What are the technical terms that we have to understand, and what are the things that we have to incorporate in our note making. Not everything has to be written, and only the technical terms plus the factual terms plus the things that you might forget in the long run, they have to be incorporated. Okay, so thanks a lot, Ayasha, for this wonderful insight. And I'll take the question from the audience here on. Yes. So first of all, someone has asked when to start answer writing. ये बता दो पहले तो.
Sir, जैसे जैसे subject complete होता जाए, so start answer writing, because practice will make you perfect. There is a saying of Kabir, like rope can cut a stone. So we are actually trying to cut the stone. So what you have to do is whenever you complete a syllabus, so start it by subjective wise. You can start answer writing. Just say if you have completed geography, so start answer writing of geography, or politics if you have completed. So when you have made notes and you had revised them from mains perspective, start answer writing, because it will also help you understand the loopholes that you are not covering in your notes also. When you read the answer of that, if you gave a mock and read the answer of that and you did not find the terms that you have written, but they are not in the mock answer, so that will help you that you are going in the other direction. It will help you align with what is needed. So I think so that whenever you complete a subject, revise it fully and then start answer writing for it.
Perfect. So Unkar Sethi has asked how to make notes specifically for mains, that we have answered. Okay. How to prepare introduction and conclusions in the notes.
Introduction, like they need to be like very brief, because like I used to write 2 or 3 lines in introduction. That would help you. Just say if a technical term is given, so you can write just the definition of it. If you are having a data on it, like the question of higher education was asked last time, so you can write the surveys or the QS. I cannot remember the exact report, but it said that only 2 universities came in top 100 or top 200 overall. So that shows that how the level of our higher education is not appropriate to the international level. So you can use that reports, any fact that you are having relevant to the question that is asked. First, understand that what is the main crux of the question that they have asked. What is the main point that they want to ask? And for each syllabus point, make 1 or 2 datas and make 1 or 2 finding with you that can help you as an introduction. Like for education, you have it in GS paper 2. So when you bifurcate it in primary, middle and higher education, So just have a data for each, like for primary, we have gross enrollment ratio for more than 90%. So you can use it whenever question is asked for primary education. But for secondary and higher education, we have lower gross enrollment ratios. So you can highlight that part, that we, though genuinely people enter the education, they do not sustain because of such and such reasons. So that will help you. For introduction, have like what I said, key data or any definition you can write, or any report finding you can write, or any, like for history, you can use various quotes that were given. Like for NCM, we had quotes given in Rajiv Ahir by various thinkers. So you can use that thinkers notes as well. What all things or events were a major water break or water shed events. Now for conclusion, I would suggest that have a positive note and have an looking forward conclusion in that. Like whenever a question was asked for society or in general about the general public, so I used to connect it with SDGs so that you can remember the SDG, like no poverty, no hunger. So you can keep it like with the goal of no poverty and no hunger, as in SDGs we have to do such and such things. It should be more on a positive note, your conclusion, because it reflects that you're not only giving the points that are objective, but also suggesting a way forward. So it should be on a positive note. You can use SDGs, DPSPs also you can use. DPSPs can be used both in introduction as well. Because it will highlight that our constitution also gives the state to work on this and this areas. So DPSPs can be used in conclusion or introduction. So this was my take on introduction and conclusion, sir.
Okay, thank you. Someone has asked, Ravi Keshri has asked, I think you have answered it. The question is how to make crisp notes for prelims and mains. And of what and of which things mostly to. ये तो आपने answer कर दिया. Now Omkar has a good question. Basically, he is asking कि can we use abbreviations like WRT with respect to or between B/W in mains exam? So can we use abbreviation? Did you use abbreviations?
No, sir. I avoided it because I think so that because we don't know the examiner who is.
Exactly.
He might be accepting it or he might not be accepting it. Because many a times it has been said when I used to write answers that don't use abbreviations because you don't know whether that would be accepted or not. So being on a safer side, don't use it. Yes, I know there is a lot of less time you get to write answers, but don't use it, I think, sir.
And I don't think that writing the full sentence will take hardly more than 4 or 5 seconds, right?
Yes, sir. The sentences should not be long with respect to, and this would be used to write very long sentences. So don't use that long sentences, just write crisp part, examples part, so that it can be you have sufficient time to write as well, and you have sufficient time to like address the question as well. So write crisp sentences, don't use long sentences as well.
Okay. So Kushan Patil has asked, I don't think how we are going to, ma'am, I have read M. Lakshmikant in Marathi language. So can I rely on playlist of M. Lakshmikant for English vocabulary of quality? I don't understand the question.
I too cannot understand, but I think so that it would be better that if you read it, because listening, I don't think so that how much you will be able to retain. And I think so that prelims paper is in only Hindi and English. So that might be an issue for you in understanding in final exam, that when you are solving the question, you are not getting what is written over there. So I would suggest that to translate or just buy another edition. That might help you, like Hindi or English you can buy. English exactly. Would be better.
Shubham Hotkar has asked, should I write current affairs notes on a daily basis?
No, not needed for daily basis. Just have a 1 or 2 examples if you get. There are many days there where you will not get much material. So that is okay. You can just have another things with you. So no, on daily basis it is not needed. Whenever you see an article that is very related to ethics or very related to any of the general studies paper, like any article has come on education system or national education policy and what all reform it needs, so you can obviously have its notes. But if any article is given, like there was an article about civil servants, and there was also an article about I used to read a lot of newspapers because I was a PSIR. So I read an article about the diplomat where it said that how a general consensus is forming against China. I read whole of the article, and it was just on one Twitter thread that how people have started commenting against milk tea and have started support for milk tea and have started going against telling that because China is drinking green tea, we will not be having that. So I read whole of the article. It was so lame, and I regretted it after I read it that what all I have wasted my time on. So you don't have to make notes of each and everything, just the important things, and in that important things also just the crux of it.
I remember one article when this pandemic stuck now, when this pandemic happened. So there was this idea that you have to wash your hand for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, right? Even there were advertisements from Lifebuoy and it all that you have to at least wash your hands for 30 seconds. Okay. So I always remember this particular article because I thought my 5-10 minutes, whatever it took to read this particular article, I cannot get my life back. Okay. So what this article was, it came in Indian Express. Now I understand the point that that person was concerned about the water wastage. So basically what that particular person said, ki, boss, if whole of the India starts washing hands for 20-30 seconds due to COVID, that means ki for that 20-30 seconds, the water is running from the tap. That means the government has
So I think so your video has stopped.
Hello, ma'am.
Am I visible?
Yes, sir. Now you are visible, sir. Sir, is it my internet that is causing problem?
No, ma'am. Sir's internet.
Acha.
हेलो मैम. हेलो
Yes,
मैम.
hello.
मैम मैं आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाह रहा था
हाँ जी,
कि
पूछिए.
मतलब प्रीलिम्स मतलब हर्डल बनता जा रहा ज्यादा से ज्यादा बड़ा. मतलब पिछली बार मेरे 85 पॉइंट समथिंग मार्क्स थे, 1.5 मार्क्स से मेरा प्रीलिम्स रुका था. इस बार तो और भी ज्यादा खराब हो गया. तो मतलब मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा कुछ बता पाऊँ.
प्रीलिम्स में ना जैसे अपना एनालिसिस बढ़ाओ कि यूपीएससी कैसे ऑप्शंस बनाता है, कि जैसे वो आप किससे मिलेंगे, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर से. दैट विल बी वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल. जैसे कि इफ यू हैव स्कोर्ड 85 और even in this year attempt also, if you have scored 65 or 70 plus, let's say, so that is fairly good marks. Now what we have been taught is कि prelims में risk लेना पड़ेगा. I think so that this much risk is not needed in paper like 2023. जैसे पेपर जो 2023 का था, you don't need to attempt like कि there is a preconceived notion कि 70 plus या 90 plus करके ही आने हैं questions. So that notion has to be given up कि नहीं, whatever will be the nature of the paper, that will decide my attempts, and the nature of the question मैं जिसमें confident हूँ, not कि जिसमें बस करके आ गए हैं. No, because negative होता है. I have been in the same place for 2022 कि 2021 sorry, कि when I gave a preconceived notion कि मुझे 90 questions तो करके आने ही हैं. So when I reached to the mark of 70-75 question, I started panicking कि अरे ये तो नहीं हो रहा है, 75 questions ही हुए, मेरे 25 questions नहीं हुए. So what I did was कि जो questions मैंने half baked attempt में किए थे, I filled the OMR with them questions, and all of them went wrong. So that was my preconceived notion कि मैं वहां लेके गई थी कि 90 क्वेश्चंस तो करके ही आने हैं. So that you don't have to take first. And second is previous year question paper का analysis सिर्फ answers के लिए मत करो, but also for the options जैसे UPSC options बनाता है कि जैसे if it is giving 1 point or the second answers, तो उसमें वो जनरली कैसे लेता है कि एक अगर सही है तो दूसरा गलत होता है क्या. So it will give you in general directions कि आपको किस साइड जाना है. एंड थर्ड इज रिवाइज अ लॉट. आपकी जो आपकी जो बुक्स हैं that will help you, but also a deeper analysis is needed nowadays, like the precedent question. How are we going to know what is the weightage of a vote of MP of ML of MP or Pondicherry? That was a ridiculous question. Like, how will a person, like, how deep do they want to write? So I think so that not doing those questions are on a safer side. But if you have a little bit of knowledge, you can go. So I would suggest कि just have जो आ रहे हैं questions, if you can also score like 50-60 questions भी अगर if you can mark them correctly on an accuracy basis, so you are good to go for it. क्योंकि I don't think so that cutoff will be more than 75 or 77 this time.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sorry guys, my network went down, electricity went away. वापस आएगी बिजली. So what happened? The chats that the questions that you asked, I have missed out on that. So please rewrite your questions. Please rewrite your questions so that I can ask Ayasha. So currently I have this question in front of me. Renuka Prasad has asked, ma'am, can you just brief how to make integrated notes we missed?
For integrated notes, just have the examples, like I said, the technical terms you can write. So that will help you. Apart from it, what you can do is, जैसे कि prelims और mains के, so I don't suggest कि prelims के notes बनाओ, because there are many fact and figure that are written in reference books that are very helpful, and that will help in analysis part of your understanding. So don't make notes for prelims, but for mains you can have various dimensions से आप notes बना सकते हो या examples से notes बना सकते हो. Now how in dimensions, like social, economic, political, for each and everything that you are reading. For if you are reading for modern history, so you can have the role of NCM or the role of CDS. So you can have social, political, and economic role in it. That how widespread was it, and how much did it impact the society overall, and how much it changed. Like events, whenever you are reading events in history now, it should be like what was the overall impact of that event as well. Not only the people who participated, but overall how the course of things changed. Like for NCM, you can highlight that how the reforms were brought after NCM to divide both Muslim and Hindu unity. So that would be very helpful. From both British angle, you have to see that they were seeing that people are getting more united against us. So they wanted to work against them. So there were, I think so, Morley-Minto reforms after that, or James Form reform after that. So it will help you in analyzing that how their course was also changing, and how Gandhiji's or the overall strategy of Congress was changing. That they started giving support to trade union, where they saw that no, people are, the trade unionist also wants to be with us. They started supporting the Kisan Sabhas. So they were actually deepening their support as well. So you can help in like that part. You can help like the one of the session of Congress was held in village after NCM. So you can start that when they got that people of villages are helping so much. So they started approaching them as well. How the role of B.R. Ambedkar started strengthening post NCM or post CDM, how after the second roundtable conference or Pune Pact. So these events you have to see in various dimensions. That will help you garner more marks, and it will also help you analyze overall what you are thinking. So for mains, I would suggest that make notes, and that also, like, don't write each and everything. Just have that like I said, that after NCM, Congress started going towards more of villages, and there were various first meeting in village was held after NCM. So just write that first meeting of Congress held in village implies greater reach towards general public. So that will help you both in answer writing and sentence formation.
Okay. Diksha has two very good questions. Okay. One is based upon her watching your some other interactions. And the first question that she's asking is, at what stage did you make these crisp short notes? That is, whether it was after second or third reading or between pre and mains gap, or whether it was started from the first reading itself.
See, in 2019 was like, it was not meant to be my attempt, but because I had filled the form, I just gave the exam. So I did not have notes at that point of time. But 2019, after 1920, the attempt was of COVID. So the prelims was postponed to October. It was postponed to October. So I had a lot of time, like 4 or 5 months I got extra. So at that point, while the prelims was scheduled in June, so it shifted to October. So till June, I made notes of GS paper 1, 2, and 3, and just made notes in 3 months because I had read it. So it was like second or third reading, I made the notes out of it. And also after writing a test series, I had joined Vision at that point of time. So after writing the test series, I wrote the notes when the period was, because the prelims has been delayed. So I was having notes with me in my so-called first attempt or second attempt, you can say. Now that notes, when I could not further clear prelims in 2021, that notes were again, they were redefined and they were quality enriched, because I still had time for 2022. So 3 months I gave again, and all these examples and all the things that I had gotten with me. So I started writing it in the notes and just writing all the technical terms and all that things in the notes. So my notes are like 2 or 3 years long. So in that period, I wrote the notes.
Okay. Diksha's second question, this supplementary question: how to maintain consistency in studies daily, like you did with your calendar approach? I saw it in one of your sessions. So can you please tell us about that?
Yes. So like you make a timetable. We all make timetable, and we have a crux that we will be studying this much. So what you can do is, like for me, what I did was that whenever I used to study, I used to make a timer with me. There are various apps available, like Focus Keeper you have, or Focus to-do list you have in Google Play Store. You can download that, and please make that the screen is logged in that when you are studying. So or if you're having OnePlus, you can have that. We have a feature of
Zen mode.
Zen mode, yes sir.
Zen mode.
So Zen mode you can log. So it will provide you that how much time you had studied, and in that Zen mode, don't touch your phone or don't do anything. If you have planned like 50 minutes I will be studying and then taking 10 minutes break, you can take that. You have earned that 10 minutes break. So for that, use timer, and whenever you are studying, switch on that timer, and honestly, when you are not studying, switch off that timer. So in that, you will have that crux that how much time you have studied. Like I used to give 10-12 hours daily before prelims, and after prelims I did not used to even think that time I have to give. It was whole of the day that you have to give. So before that prelims, because obviously my journey was long, so for consistency you can do that. And whenever you have a good day where you think that yes, the day was successful, you can mark it as a success, that yes, this day was successful for me. So that will help you in furthering your consistency, that no, this day was planned for 10-12 hours and I have studied for 10-12 hours, so this is a success. Or you can also make a Google sheet, like which days you have studied good or studied for the time you have planned for, and mark it as green, so that this day was a green day for me, or a successful day for me. And the days that were not, just mark it red. So whenever you will be seeing that red approaching after green, it will give you an anxiety and also push that no, this day should not be wasted. So I had many failures on Thursday. So I got to know that Thursdays are a weak point for me. So what I used to do was that on Thursday, I used to plan more. That if I want to be in the final list, so I have to be doing more. So you will get success after 1 or 2 failures only, I must say that. But that failure should be well before your exams. So just plan your failures before it, that you are failing if you're not studying for 1 or 2 days. So it should be honestly marked red, and that should reflect in your overall study that yes, this day I haven't studied. So next day I will be putting more efforts, and I will remember that this day, next week, this should not be a concern for me.
So basically, I understood 2 points. First, you used a lot of digital things in your preparation. You took help from whatever things that was very innovative. Okay. And secondly, you had a midweek crisis.
Yes, sir. I used to have a very bad Thursdays. I had failed a lot on Thursday because when you have started your week very nicely, you start on Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursdays there are a slope that makes you study that पढ़ लिया है बहुत, आज थोड़ा rest ले लेते हैं. But you know that no, this is the weekday of me, so you will push it hard कि नहीं, Sunday का break है, so Sunday only I will be taking, not on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So that will also help you analyze, sir, ki which days are you being more lethargic. So that will give you a data कि आपने इस दिन पे नहीं पढ़ते हो. So you will be having a source with you कि नहीं पढ़ते इस दिन. So we will be putting more efforts in that.
Nice. This was very innovative. This is very innovative, and I learned a lot from this particular approach. Thanks a lot. Someone has asked, I love Samsung SM-M115F, really innovative name. I'll appear in UPSC 2024. Please stop, guys. I'll let you ask questions from Ayasha, don't worry. But let me first clear the doubts that people have asked over here. Okay. So someone has asked, I'll appear in UPSC CSE 2024, and I'm doing answer writing on a daily basis. Ma'am, do I need to join mains test series right now?
If you are an old player and knows how to write an answer and you can self-analyze, so no need of it. But if you think that you are new to the ground and you don't know much of it, and you are not able to analyze by seeing topper's copy or seeing the mock answers, that how much are you scoring, then I would suggest that join test series. But if you can analyze at your own, so there is no need of test series. But after prelims, I would suggest that you take test series if you clear prelims. But right now, if you are able to analyze, so no need. And if you are unable, so you can go for a test series.
So this is your answer, Samsung. Diksha has asked your revision strategy for basic books.
Like each and everything that you have completed has to be revised, that is for sure. Now what you have to do is, like, you make weekly targets and also have Saturdays and Sundays for revision. Like for Saturday, I used to give for optional revision, and Sundays was for general studies revision. So you can have, like, on Sundays, it will be helpful that on Sundays you have revised. But if you want you need to be in continuum, so what you can do is, whenever, like, you have planned 3 hours for general studies, so half an hour can be given to revision as well. साथ ही साथ करते जाओ, like weekly, the thing that you have read past week, read it again, so it will be helpful and it will be in your subconscious mind. So you're muted. Yes.
So somehow my network is kicking me out from the webinar. Okay. So Suvida Radhakrishnan asked, ma'am, which standard book did you refer for economy?
For
economy,
I read Mrunal sir's notes. You can also take what book is Ramesh Singh book, you can
Ramesh
take.
Singh.
But that book was very for
very
me,
bulky.
Comics is a very boring subject for me.
Very bulky.
Yes, sir. So I took Mrunal sir's handout notes, that are available. So I read that. You can also read that because he has given it in very nice manner. So you can read that as well. Or you also use Shriram IS notes if you're comfortable with it.
They are really good. They are really good. Even though
Yes.
I am working for Civilsdaily, I do not hesitate taking their name. Okay, they're the good ones.
Yes.
And Civilsdaily is also bringing on their notes. So guys, wait up for that as well. Okay. Kishore has asked, ma'am, please tell us about your experience while you were preparing for CSAT. See, a lot of people, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people in 2023, rankers, people who cleared examinations with Civilsdaily, people who were from IITs and IIM, they are failing in this year's CSAT. So what was your strategy?
So, like I am also an electrical engineer, and I scored. It is very shameful to say, but I scored 62 marks in this year's CSAT, and I scored 80 marks in general studies, and I could not score, like being an electrical engineer and being good at CSAT. I haven't scored like less than 95 marks. Like I just saw my previous year prelims answer mark sheet. I scored 99 marks in CSAT last year. So I was pretty confident that I will be scoring good marks, but this year CSAT required a lot of practice. And I know particularly why I could not score, because my head was not in the right space. And I did mathematical errors. So I know from my end that what all mistakes I have done. Like I am admitting it on camera, but I wrote 14 into 4 as 56. So that was one of the things that I did in the CSAT paper. So I know that it is not an excuse, but I was very heavy-handed at CSAT. So one thing that I would have cleared it. But one thing that I would suggest for CSAT is that practice previously we did not used to give time to CSAT. That ho jayega. But for CSAT also we have one or two, like 4 repeated topics that are asked every year by UPSC, like the cube wala question, if you will be cutting the cube, or the dates wala question, where what day will come on this or this year. So you can take this as a lower hanging fruit, which you have to solve. And apart from it, there are probability and permutation and combination that UPSC asks every time. Now for CSAT, I would say that first it was needed that only a general knowledge was needed for this subject, but nowadays it also requires an advanced knowledge of this. So practice a lot. You can also use RS Agrawal if you can for aptitude part for CSAT. That is helpful. Apart from it, you can also have you can solve questions of previously repeated subjects, like what I said, like probability, permutation and combination. These are various repeated topics, because paragraph we don't know how UPSC will be giving next year, but these are the repeated topics that UPSC gives each year.
Okay. Ashia has asked, wait a minute, let me come back to CSAT. Okay. This year now, around 86 of the people from Civilsdaily, 86 students of Civilsdaily, they are writing their mains for the first time. Okay.
Yes.
So around 200 odd people are writing mains with Civilsdaily. Out of them, 86 are having their mains for the first time. Either they are the freshers or either they are the ones who were not able to clear the prelims in the previous attempt. They have cleared the prelims for the very first time. So while interacting with them, I told them this thing specifically. This time, you have a really good chance, because A, the seats are more. B, a lot of rankers have failed in CSAT. They are not giving the examination, so you have a good chance of clearing this examination. Don't wait for the 24.
Yes, sir. Like I really think that this is a golden opportunity for all the people who are giving mains this time, because a lot of people, including me, and I have been in a peer group that used to write very nice and had scored like 115 plus marks in various general studies paper, but one or two paper or interview did not work for them. So I know them, and they haven't cleared prelims, and they were like, for me, they were like the toughest competition, and they have been wiped out by CSAT this year. So I think that you should be taking it as a golden opportunity, because and don't take it as a thing that should relax you, but also motivate you at the same point of time that various people who used to write very good and used to score consistently good in various mains marks have not qualified CSAT. So competition is relatively less, but not to the point that it will be not the juggle in 100 and 200 marks, 200 ranks will be less. In 200 rank, you will be a lot of persons who will be getting the same marks, but will be juggled by their date of birth. So you have to be at top. Please be at top. Please make such good marks in mains. Practice so much that you score the best there, sir.
Yes. So I was talking about Ashia Hussain. Ashia Hussain has asked, "Ki ma'am, how should I manage time as I'm enrolled in optional as well as GS batch? Also, what do you say? Do studies. So how manage time for pre?" Basically, there is some issue. So basically, she is enrolled with GS classes plus optional classes. So she wants to know about how to manage both of them simultaneously.
Like if you are having the both of the classes, it will take 6 hours of your daily schedule because 3 hours long they are there. So you have around 18 hours left if you are sleeping for 7-8 hours. So you still have 11-12 hours with you. So manage 8 to 10 hours daily. Anyhow, it will be a very tedious job for you and it will be very hard to manage it. But please manage at least 8 to 10 hours till optional classes get over. Optional will be over by November, I think so. Each optional classes get over by November. So then and thereon, you can increase your daily targets and daily sitting hours. So it will help you. Right now, try to manage 8 to 10 hours daily where you're revising whatever else is taught and also giving your own understanding and own knowledge to it. Like if a topic has been discussed or has been taught in your coaching, so please come to your home, revise it again, and also make your own notes out of it, that what you are all gonna study from it, and also value added from the reference books. So it will help you. Like 3 hours you can give for general studies and optional, and 2 hours you can give for current affairs. So 8 to 10 hours please give. And if possible, right now till November, give more time to optional and then switch it to general studies.
Hi, ma'am. First of all, congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
Please, guys, please don't break the line. Guys, please. I have not yet opened the floor for your questioning. I am just taking the chat-based questions right now. Please have some patience. I'll let the floor open. Don't worry. I'll give you enough time. I'll give you 15 proper minutes with her. Okay, don't worry. But let us first finish those questions which people have asked on the chat. Okay. So one thing that someone has asked really relevant. So basically what they have said, ma'am, after making notes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Shall I question? It is by Bhavin Prajapat. He said that, ma'am, after making notes, mains notes of a specific subject, it's necessary to reread the book after notes. For mains, I would suggest that read the book again. But for prelims, because reference books are very needed, so you can read notes of it, not notes of it, not the standard reference book. You can revise it fully, like till the prelims comes. Your knowledge level should be such that when you're opening or when you're on the chapter of R. Lakshmikant, so when you open the book, you have in your subconscious mind the knowledge what is written in that page. So don't wait, revise and revise the standard book for prelims, and for mains, just take it that after prelims you will be studying that notes again, but for till prelims revise the standard books.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Parth sir, I think so. Just a second, Parth sir has written. Yes, sir.
Sorry, again, my network kicked me out. Basically, what is happening now? There is no electricity while I started the webinar, so I was with the Wi-Fi. Right now, I am on the mobile hotspot, and because of this fluctuation between 4G and 5G, it is kicking me out. Okay. So the question that you were discussing now, the answer that you were telling, I was going to pick the same.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So please, okay. So because of this, I am getting away from all the questions that are being asked in the chat. So what I'll do, I'll ask one by one to raise your hands if you have some doubts, if you want to ask any question, and I'll let you connect with her. So first hand is from Bhupalan E. Bhupalan, can you please switch on your camera?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, but please also open your camera if you can.
Yes, sir. So currently I'm in traveling, sir, so I think it's a bit difficult.
It's okay, it's okay.
So sorry. Ma'am, first of all, congratulations. As I'm also be in the same stage like you. I had not been cleared from my prelims for the past 3 attempts. In my second attempt, I had realized that I didn't clear the pre because of I had attempted every time more than 90 to 95 questions. Out of this, approximately 40 to 45 questions will be correct, but I'm getting rejected because of the negative marking, because of the wrong questions. So, could you give some tips how to find that accuracy and reduce the kind of negative marking?
So for accuracy, you have to have revision a lot. You have to revise a lot. That will help you in knowledge-based strengthening. Now, apart from it, what you have to do is read the question and trust your instinct and subconscious mind that the first thing that comes to your mind is majorly correct. When we start doubting it now, then comes the part of overthinking, and that is the part where we majorly do things wrong. Like for me, when I used to read a question, and first thing that comes to my mind, I used to write it over there, like not the whole of the sentence, just the gist of it, that yes, this and this was there. So when I revisit that question, I already have that yes, this is the right answer, and this is I am going to mark in my OMR sheet. Now, second thing is this, and third thing is that please don't make a preconceived notion of prelims. Now, I cannot say that 2023 pattern will be repeated in 2024 or not, or a previous pattern will be repeated. So don't take what you have studied from there, or what you have. Just take the failures and just take what problems and errors you are doing in the exam. Like you said that 90-95 questions and you're marking only 40-45 questions right. Make it at least 50-60. That would give you an edge कि हाँ 50-60 क्वेश्चन तो सही करके आ ही रहे हैं, तो 100-120 प्लस मार्क्स है एंड फिर उसमें नेगेटिव जाएगा. बट इफ यू आर टेकिंग अ प्रीकंसीव्ड नोशन कि 90 ही करके आना है, सो नो, that will backfire a lot because you are having a preconceived notion कि मैं इतने क्वेश्चन करके आऊंगा. So it will be like कि जब क्वेश्चंस की वो लिमिट पार नहीं होगी ना, अगर क्वेश्चन पेपर टफ आया है, so you will start panicking and you will start doing all the questions that you have done just for the sake of doing. So don't do that. The questions you are confident in, first mark them, and then you take a calculated guess and calculated ratio कि हाँ इन क्वेश्चंस के बाद भी अगर मतलब इसमें से wrong निकल जाते हैं, if you have 45 questions at your kitty and 20 questions में से अगर 10 भी गलत चले जाते हैं, then also I have a safe margin to cross the prelims cutoff. So calculated on the day of exam कि हाँ कितना मेरा मतलब कितने questions में I'm pretty confident. If that crosses 50-60 questions, you can take risk. और अगर नहीं cross कर रहा, you have to take further like a tip to approach कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ वही questions जो सही लग रहे हैं वही होंगे. Don't take a preconceived notion कि 90 questions की 80 questions करके ही आना है.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, and also, essay, had you make any separate preparation or separate material for essay?
For?
For essay.
Essay.
Essay. For essay, I don't think so. A separate material is needed. The quotes, anecdotes, examples, poems that you are collecting for ethics, you can use them. All the events that you are collecting for mains preparation, that could be used. So for ethics essay, you can also, if you want, if you have time, you can take one or two philosophical books that you can read. That will help, like India After Gandhi, you can read, but it is a very bulky book. Don't read that. I would suggest it right now. But whenever you have time, you can read. Or Why Nations Fail, you can study, so that to have a analytical view that हाँ क्या क्या questions पूछे जाते हैं, and how I can connect each and every phase with nations development, because at the end we are working for nations development.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Ayasha, please come.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible?
Yes.
मैम मेरा डाउट जो ऑलरेडी मैंने चैट बॉक्स में लिखा था थोड़ा सा क्लियर हो गया, बट थोड़ा सा ये था कि मैं सेल्फ स्टडी भी मैं कर रही हूँ, साथ साथ में एनसीईआरटीज वगैरह सेटिंग सब चल रहा है, बट मैम कुछ ना कुछ मेरा एक पॉइंट तो रह ही जाता है डेली। मतलब मैं मैनेज करने की कोशिश बहुत करती हूँ, बट रह जाता है कुछ ना कुछ point। तो उसको कैसे मैनेज करूँ?
Keep Saturdays and Sundays for that thing that have been left. जब आपने ज्यादा बड़ा टारगेट बना लिया है and anyhow you cannot complete it, तो Saturdays and Sundays you can keep. For Saturdays I used to keep for optional. You can keep for general studies. It is your call, whatever you want to take. So whatever you want, कि Saturdays and Sundays you can keep कि हाँ इस दिन ये पढ़ना है. Like for Sunday general studies, I used to revise and used to do the things that I have planned but not completed. तो Sunday को हो जाएगी. उसके अलावा you can read योजना and कुरुक्षेत्र on Sundays as well.
यस मैम, मैगजीन में तो मैं एक पेज करके रोज ट्राई करती हूँ कि कवर करती जाऊँ, क्योंकि 50 to 60 पेजेस तो होते ही होते हैं मैगजीन में, तो मैं डेली एक पेज कर रही हूँ, ताकि मेरे से रिवीजन नहीं हो पा रही। मैं सोचती हूँ कि मैं डेली करूँ, बट रिवीजन मेरी स्किप हो जाती है। बहुत जरूरी पार्ट है, वो स्किप हो जाती है।
डेली नहीं हो पा रहा है तो वीकली कर लो. When you are done with your optional classes, then you can have a daily revision schedule. Till your optional classes are there, because you are already managing 2 things at your end. तो उसके जगह फिर आप वो कर सकते हो. Sir, just a second. My iPad is running out of battery. Give me 2 minutes. I'm bringing charger, sir.
Sure. So let's take a break of 2 minutes. Take it. Let's switch off our cameras. Ayasha, you will be getting your answer. Don't worry. Guys, anyone who wants to ask their questions one-to-one, they can raise their hands. Okay. Like Omkar, Shiva, Diksha, Sudha, they have raised their hands. It is possible in the raise your hands and I'll connect you to Ayasha.
So your voice is not audible. It's breaking.
Am I audible now?
You are having some network.
Wait a minute. Let me connect to the proper internet. Is it better now?
Yeah, sir.
I connected to proper internet
Yes,
now.
sir.
Yes, so you were answering Ayasha regarding her revision wala part.
Sir. That only, sir. Either do it weekly, that will help you. Else, अगर जब ये optional classes हो जाती है, then revise it on a daily basis.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, Omkar, how are you?
Hi, so first I would like to congratulate ma'am. So, ma'am, I have issues in the economy part, so it's very difficult for me to go through the trends. When I read newspaper, I'm unable to supplement it with my static part because the trends are quite fluctuating. So how to deal with it?
Like for fluctuating part, you have to have it connect with static. जैसे कुछ भी हो रहा हो, like foreign exchange कुछ problem हो रही है या exchange rates में कुछ problem हो रही है, just connect it with your static part कि जैसे exchange rates में fluctuation और what all effects it has on the things. So don't look at कि ये सारी चीजें ऐसी हो रही, just have कि ये चीजों का इम्पैक्ट क्या है एंड हाउ आर दे कनेक्टेड टू माय सिलेबस. एवरीथिंग शुड बी कनेक्टेड विथ योर स्टैटिक पोर्शन एंड इट विल कनेक्ट विथ योर स्टैटिक पोर्शन, ट्रस्ट मी. सो जैसे चीजें अगर हो रही है तो उनकी एक आपको एक क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए कि ये चीजें अगर होती है तो इससे हमारा क्या क्या होता है. जैसे एक्सचेंज रेट में अगर डेप्रिसिएशन होता है या डीवैल्यूएशन होता है तो इसमें क्या फर्क रहता है कि फिक्स्ड रेट है या वो है एक्सचेंज है, कैसा टाइप का एक्सचेंज रेट है और उससे मतलब क्या क्या इफेक्ट होंगे. सो कनेक्ट इट विथ योर स्टैटिक पोर्शन, दैट विल हेल्प यू. एंड इसके अलावा व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू कैन टेक देयर आर वेरियस इकोनॉमिक और वेरियस newspaper analysis on YouTube available. Videos are available daily, they posted, so you can see them also. That will also help you in economics part wala कि they will help you analyze कि चीजें जो जो भी हो रही है, how it has an effect on a larger perspective.
I also have one question more. So when I have read Lakshmikant twice. Now I've started making the notes of it. But when I'm making the notes, I'm much more prelims oriented because the mains part is not. I'm not able to cover it from Lakshmikant. So what source should I opt for? Like when I am doing the previous year questions, that is much difficult. But the prelims part I'm able to deal with. But the mains part I'm not able to deal with. So what to do in that scenario?
See, you don't need any further source. The source Lakshmikant is enough. Apart from it, the current affairs magazine that you have with you that are given on monthly basis, they also have polity and governance wala part in them. So you can use them for content building. है ना? Now, if you have to use like basic structure doctrine, if it has been asked, so you know that it was given in Keshwananda Bharti case. Apart from it, what you can do is like it will be discussed in current affairs magazine as well, that what basic structure doctrine has or what all things it has in it, like equality before law or judicial independence. It has it as a feature of it, basic structure. But what you can do is that there are also parts given in notes and references of Lakshmikant. You can use that notes and references very nicely in your mains because that are repository, that are source where the things from Lakshmikant came. Where does the basic structure doctrine comes? So in politics, if you see, the notes and references that are given in Lakshmikant are also very important because they are the knowledge sources that you can take cue from and write mains answer. This is fundamental rights. You have the Menka Gandhi case where the due process of law was given. So you need to understand what is due process of law and what are the things that it encompasses. Like in Lakshmikant, it is given in very objective manner. You have to make it subjective on your own. So when you make notes for mains, due process of law, you need to highlight what is due process of law and which country has given the origin of due process of law. I think so it's US. So you can write that the US has given the process of due process of law in its constitution, and how in our though it was not explicitly mentioned in our constitution, but how does Indian constitution gives an edge to due process of law. So you can give that as well. Like if you want to go further in that, if you're preparing for 2024, you can also look at India Ka Kanun website, where various Supreme Court judgments and their summaries are given. So for Menka Gandhi case, you can look there and see what all judges have said on due process of law. So that would also enrich your knowledge. So dig a little deeper when you're reading for GS2 from Lakshmikant. Don't change the resources, just deepen it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, one more thing I'll add, Onkar. So, for example, you are reading Lakshmikant, right? So you will understand the topics regarding National Human Rights Commission, let's say. So we'll
Hello,
understand
sir.
what are the composition of National Human Rights Commission and what are the mandate of National Human Rights Commission, how to appoint a member, how to remove a member, that's it. But when you read the newspaper now, every year, whenever there is National Human Rights Day or there is some other charter, okay, so there is this critical analysis of NHRC even over there. From there, you can link both. So you have to have that coverage of current affairs to link with your static portion, especially with polity and economy. Okay. So, Diksha, you have raised your hand. You are the next.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am. Am I
Hi,
audible?
Diksha.
Hello, sir. Ma'am, I have two questions. The first one is you mentioned about analyzing PYQs. So can you provide a step-by-step method of how to really go about PYQ analysis, and especially for prelims? And the next question is if you can share how much time it used to take for you to actually making notes, because reading chapter takes 2 hours for me, but making notes is another 3 to 4 hours, which means that I am somewhere making very bulky notes. But I'm really I really like the idea of your note making. So how much time ideally I should give for note making separately, and the PYQ question? 2 questions I have.
Okay, for previous year question paper, like if you take the questions that are factual, that you cannot analyze because it is just a fact and plainly it just has one answer. But when it comes to the analysis part or the questions which have various multi-dimensional things, where UPSC gives 1 or 2 options in it, and then we have that choose one of the following. So generally, like it is not what I'm saying, but it's like one of the options is either wrong, and rarely UPSC gives both of them correct. So taking cue from its previous year's question paper making strategy, where it gives an edge that this or this question can be wrong, or this or this this or this options if we give. So one of the options has a trick in it that has to be given. So it will help you in analyzing that and make your own strategy, that how UPSC makes options and how usually it gives an gives the gives it 1 or 2 the pairing it gives. Now it might not be 100% fit for another attempt, but it will be like 60-70% of the time it will work. So if you're doing 10 questions out of the strategy, like if you're analyzing how UPSC whenever it gives 2 options, so one of them is wrong, I have to take cue from my, or if it is a very general statement, so it is generally true. And previously it used to give like in science and tech, each and everything used to be correct, but now it has given a trick, like whenever options more than 3, it gives like how much things are used in it. So generally 1 or 2 things are given out of the league. So whenever the options are more than 3, you have to highlight that one part that UPSC has, the person has made, like that if you do not if you highlight that part and highlight that this is wrong, so you will come to a conclusion. So you have to see that whenever UPSC makes such type of questions, so what are its general trends. And like I have observed, like when the questions of like major or minor mineral was there, or well, technologies are sustainable, it was given in 2020 or 21, that Portland cement or the hot technology or the slug technology. So that you can help, like Portland cement, it's a common cement. So it can be cancelled out. Now, what happens was that analysis worked for 2022 because the options were made. But when we come to 2023 wala prelims, so such options were not there, and it was 1 only, 2 only, and very tough to crack the code. So what you can do is, like when it is given, like UPSC generally has a leaning towards 2 only for that question. So when you're going too haywire, I won't suggest it to do it. But when you give 2 haywire, so you can take a cue from 2 only and then see if I am getting 2 correct or not. And if I am not getting even 2 correct, it is very rare that UPSC gives all correct nowadays, because it used to give all correct in 2016 to 19, but it has changed the pattern and it has started more no, all will not be correct. So you can take like one options can be deleted कि सब सही तो नहीं होंगे, कुछ ना कुछ गलत होगा, तो उससे फिर आपको समझ आ जाएगा कि कैसे मतलब उसको अप्रोच करना है. Apart from it, these notes making में मुझे time कितना लगा था, like if you are reading for 2 hours, so it should hardly take half an hour more to make notes out of it. If you are taking 4 hours for making notes, then you are taking too much time, because 6 hours for just you have read less and you have made notes out of it more. So just have half an hour, like कि 2 घंटे में आधे घंटे का, because आप क्या कर रहे हो, सिर्फ और सिर्फ उसका क्रक्स निकाल रहे हो. You are not making whole of the story now. You just have to highlight the things, or you just have to write the technical terms out of it. So it should not take more than half an hour if you are studying for 2 hours for notes making.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Bhavin Prajapat, please come on the screen. Bhavin, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
सर पूछना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे कोई भी स्टैंडर्ड बुक है, जैसे एम लक्ष्मीकांत को पढ़ लिया 2 से 4 बार, तो मैम ने बोला था कि जब उसे पढ़ ले तो उसके नोट्स बना देने हो. तो सर जैसे नोट्स बना दिए तो उस बुक्स को रीरीड नहीं करना क्या?
उस नोट्स को प्रीलिम्स के लिए रीरीड नहीं करो, उसको मेंस के लिए रख दो कि ये जब हमारा प्रीलिम्स क्लियर हो जाएगा तब हम इसको वापस से यूज करेंगे. और जब भी जैसे कि तुम्हें मेन से रिलेटेड कोई सी भी चीज ऐसी मिले जहाँ पे तुम्हें ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये वैल्यू एडिशन मुझे मेंस के लिए करना है, तो उस नोट्स में लिख लो आगे. लेकिन जब प्रीलिम्स के लिए पढ़ रहे हो तो मैं रिकमेंड करूंगी कि रेफरेंस बुक से ही पढ़ो, क्योंकि रेफरेंस बुक्स में बहुत सारे फैक्ट और फिगर रहते हैं जो आपने मेंस में नहीं लिखे होंगे, जो आपने नोट्स में नहीं लिखे होंगे. और वो जब अगर वो क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली पूछा जाता है तो बहुत दुख होता है जब आपको वो क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है. जैसे एक 2020 का क्वेश्चन था कि आर्टिकल 50 से कि सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर किस में दिया हुआ है हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में. सो इट इज गिवन इन आर्टिकल 50 ऑफ DPSP. अगर आप लक्ष्मीकांत के पीछे देखोगे तो रेफरेंस उसमें सारे आर्टिकल के साथ दिया हुआ है कि आर्टिकल 50 ये है. सो इट कम्स आउट कि ये जो चीजें हैं कि सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर किसमें दी थी, आई डिड दैट क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग. बट अगर मैं उसको बुक से पढ़ती सो आई वुड हैव बेटर नॉलेज, कि क्योंकि मैं उसको बाद में आर्टिकल्स को भी पढ़ लेती. अब वो मैंने लिखा नहीं था नोट्स में, नाउ दैट प्रूव्ड लाइक अ नेगेटिव फॉर मी. सो दैट मेक्स कि आप नोट से हर चीज कवर नहीं कर पाओगे, लेकिन मेंस में क्योंकि सब्जेक्टिव होता है तो उसमें वो आपके ऊपर है कि आप क्या आंसर लिखना चाहते हो. सो यू कैन मेक आंसर्स एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, लेकिन प्रीलिम्स के लिए रीड रेफरेंस बुक्स.
जी मैम. मैम मैं एक प्रश्न और पूछना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे प्रीलिम्स और मेंस की इंटीग्रेटेड स्टडी कैसे करें?
प्रीलिम्स और मेंस की इंटीग्रेटेड स्टडीज ऐसी होगी क्योंकि रेफरेंस बुक्स आपकी सेम रहती है वेदर प्रीलिम्स और मेंस, है ना. तो जब आप जैसे अभी आप पढ़ोगे, अभी पढ़ ही रहे होगे जनरल स्टडीज, तो जब आप पढ़ रहे हो तो उसका एक जनरल नॉलेज बढ़ाते जाओ अपना. फर्स्ट रीडिंग में तो जनरल नॉलेज बढ़ाओ, सेकेंड रीडिंग में उसको देखो कि आपको क्या क्या चीजें आई हैं या क्या नहीं आई हैं. जैसे कभी आपने टेस्ट लिखा तो आपको समझ आ जाएगा क्या क्या चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है और क्या नहीं है, तो वो चीजें देखो कि हाँ ये चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है और ये चीजें मतलब हाईलाइट करनी है. जब आप थर्ड रीडिंग पर जाओ तब देखो कि ये चीजें मेंस के लिए कौन सी इंपॉर्टेंट है और प्रीलिम्स के लिए कौन सी इंपॉर्टेंट है ना. अब मेंस के लिए तो आप नोट्स बना ही लोगे, प्रीलिम्स के लिए क्योंकि आप जब थर्ड रीडिंग तक आओगे तब ही जनवरी फरवरी तक आ ही जाएगा, मतलब अप्रोक्सीमेटली दिसंबर जनवरी तो आ ही जाएगा थर्ड रीडिंग तक, क्योंकि द सेम बुक, क्योंकि आपके पास ऑलरेडी बहुत बुक्स रहती है, तो तब फिर आप प्रीलिम्स का पढ़ने लग जाना.
जी मैम. थैंक यू मैम.
Okay, Bhavin. Saurabh, you have raised your hand. Please come on the screen.
जी, hello ma'am.
Hello.
मैं यह क्वेश्चन पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि जैसा मतलब सब लोग बोलते हैं कि नोट्स को बुक से मतलब 3 बार 4 बार पढ़ लो, उसके बाद उसमें रिटेन करो। तो मैम उसमें जब बुक्स को अगर 2 या 3 4 बार पढ़ लें तो उसमें क्या नोट्स में लिखना है और क्या छोड़ना है, ये कैसे पता चले फॉर फ्रेशर?
नोट्स में क्या लिखना है, जैसे नोट्स में आपको सिर्फ ये लिखना है कि जो टेक्निकल टर्म्स है वो लिखने हैं, या कुछ भी जैसे कि आपको, जैसे आपने टेस्ट सीरीज आप लिखोगे या टेस्ट सीरीज कोई सी भी दोगे तो उससे भी आपको पता लगता जाएगा कि चीजें कौन कौन सी इंपॉर्टेंट है ना। जैसे कि सीडीएम में अगर आप देखते हो तो क्या पार्टिसिपेशन था, क्या बैकग्राउंड था सीडीएम का, ये नोट्स में लिखना है। और क्या मतलब इवेंट था जिसके कारण सीडीएम शुरू हुआ था, या जो साइमन कमीशन के अगेंस्ट जो रैली थी वो क्यों थी, उसका क्या इफेक्ट था। तो कॉज इफेक्ट वेरियस डायमेंशंस ये सब नोट्स में लिखने हैं। और उसके अलावा एग्जांपल्स आपको नोट्स में लिखने हैं कि क्या क्या हुआ था। जैसे क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट के कारण पैरेलल गवर्नमेंट्स बनी थी, so you can write the examples of Satara or all the parallel governments that were there, so that will help you कि जब भी आप रिवाइज करोगे so एग्जाम्पल सहित आपका होता जाएगा रिवीजन।
दूसरा क्वेश्चन यह है कि जैसे अगर 2-4 बार या बुक पढ़ लेते हैं और उसके बाद अगर सिर्फ अगर बुक से ही अगर कवर करना चाहे तो फिर अगर तुरंत रिवीजन करना चाहे तो कैसे किया जाए, अगर नोट्स नहीं बनाए तो? ऐसा संभव है?
आपकी आवाज कट गई थी सौरभ।
हेलो।
हाँ अब बोलो।
जी मैम अब आ रही है?
हाँ
जी मैम मैं यह पूछना चाह रहा था 2 या 3 4 बार नोट्स को पढ़ लिया जाए और उसको अगर बुक से मतलब रिलेट करके अगर नहीं लिखा जाए तो क्या नोट्स या फिर जो कोचिंग मटेरियल का नोट्स है या उसे सफिशिएंट है या फिर बुक को अप्रोक्सीमेट किया जाए?
क्वालिटी पे डिपेंड करेगा कि आपने किस क्वालिटी के नोट्स बनाए हैं। अगर आपने इतनी ही अच्छी क्वालिटी के नोट्स बना लिए हैं कि उसमें ऑलमोस्ट सब चीजें ही कवर हो गई हैं तो फिर बुक्स का देख लेना, मतलब मैं तो बुक्स ही सजेस्ट करती हूँ प्रीलिम्स के लिए। बाकी आपकी क्वालिटी या मतलब उससे अगर आप टेस्ट देते हैं तो उससे कितनी चीजें कवर हो जाती है वो देख लीजिए कि कितनी चीजें आपके मतलब हो पा रही हैं उससे। क्योंकि स्टैटिक इज दी ओनली थिंग दैट यू कैन बी श्योर इन यूपीएससी कि 40-50 क्वेश्चंस तो आराम से स्टैटिक से आएंगे ही। सो डोंट बी लीनियंट टुवर्ड स्टैटिक कि यूपीएससी बहुत अनप्रेडिक्टेबल हो गया। नो, स्टैटिक क्वेश्चंस विल कम, दे विल ऑलवेज कम and they will be only helpful to make you score 80-90 plus marks in prelims। तो इसलिए मैं तो सजेस्ट करूंगी कि आप प्रीलिम्स के लिए तो रेफरेंस बुक से ही पढ़ लें। बाकी क्वालिटी अगर आपने नोट्स की इतनी अच्छी बनाई है तो फिर आप देख सकते हैं, आपकी कॉल होगी कि आपको नोट्स पढ़ना है कि क्या।
इतना ज्यादा फैक्चुअल होता है प्रीलिम्स ना कि वर्चुअली आप बिना एक किताब बनाए नोट्स नहीं बना सकते, वो दोबारा दूसरी किताब ही बन जाएगी। एंड हम सेकेंडली एक और भी चीज क्या करते हैं कि देखो प्रीलिम्स सिंगल डे एग्जामिनेशन, ठीक है, हमें किताब कैरी करने की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं है। बट हाँ मेंस में क्या है कि 1 और 2 पेपर एक साथ है, 3 और 4 पेपर एक साथ है। So of course virtually you cannot carry all the books on a regular basis, तो वहां पर नोट्स काम आते हैं। आप प्रीलिम्स के नोट्स के पीछे मत भागो, आपका कॉस्ट बेनिफिट उतना हाई नहीं होगा, जो रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट है आपके एफर्ट्स का वो उतना हाई नहीं होगा।
मैं यह पूछना चाह रहा था कि कोचिंग नोट सफिशिएंट या फिर बुक रखें ही उसको, ये मैं पूछना।
बुक तो रखना ही है,
बुक को कोई रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता यार सौरभ, याद रखो।
कोचिंग नोट्स जो आपके हैं वो सप्लीमेंट्री सेकेंडरी हैं, वो प्राइमरी सोर्स बुक्स ही होना चाहिए। अगर आप कोचिंग नोट्स को बुक्स में, अगर जैसे कि कोचिंग आपके जैसे टीचर ने कुछ एक्सट्रीम में कुछ अच्छा पॉइंट बता दिया है या एग्जांपल दे दिया तो वो देखो वो कहीं ना कहीं बुक से रिलेट हो ही जाएगा। या तो किसी सोशल रिफॉर्मर के बारे में बता दिया तो उसको बुक में ही लिख लो कि ये सोशल रिफॉर्मर के बारे में सर या मैम ने मुझे बताया था, तो बस उसका एक एग्जाम्पल लिख लो। तो जब आप बुक पढ़ो तो वो एग्जाम्पल भी आपके सामने हो। क्योंकि प्रीलिम्स के लिए मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोचिंग के नोट्स काफी होंगे। यू हैव टू टेक प्राइमरी सोर्स एज योर बुक्स ओनली।
वो एक वर्ड होता है ना वैल्यू ऐड, वो वैल्यू ऐड कर रहा है, वो वैल्यू नहीं है सिंगुलरली।
ओके मैम, थैंक यू सो मच।
Yes. Suvidha, did we answer your questions? सुविधा है कि नहीं है?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, 2024 is going to be my first attempt, and I haven't joined any coaching, and some people are scaring me that the exam is going to be tougher than before. So how should I prepare for the changes on my own?
See, be very confident in you and study very hard. If you are not having a background in the social science, जैसे कि या तो engineering background से हो या किसी और background से हो, and then you are switching for social science background, so please have a very good knowledge base. हो सके तो NCERTs भी पढ़ना, बिल्कुल पढ़ना ही है. अगर prelims के लिए तो मैं ये भी suggest करूंगी कि NCERTs please be very cautious and please read NCERTs as well, because many of the questions can be directly asked from NCERTs. तो NCERTs रखना ही है. Now coachings, like I don't recommend कि foundational course या मतलब वो जरूरी होता है, but हाँ test series के लिए you should be enrolled either in a coaching test series, or you can take all the materials that are available in the market. You can take from them as well. बाकी मतलब I would suggest for test series you can join. Else don't panic कि foundation course या ये सब. What they are teaching is you already have that. The primary sources are books, and if you read that books one more time than the coaching going students, then you are a better student, better placed students than them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sujit B. Sujit, you are not audible. Okay, Sujit, I'll come back to you later. I think you're not audible.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, how to approach history for prelims 2024? As it becoming tougher day by day, how much time should we give to the history?
For prelims, like जब भी आप मतलब अभी तो जनरल स्टडीज ही पढ़ोगे, तो मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री एंड कल्चर तो आपका काफी कुछ जनरल स्टडीज में पेपर 1 में कवर हो जाता है. नाउ रिमेनिंग पार्ट विल बी एंशिएंट एंड मेडिवल. तो मेडिवल का क्योंकि कॉस्ट बेनिफिट रेशियो काफी कम रहता है, सो रेफरेंस बुक्स की जगह आप NCERTs रेफर करो मेडिवल के लिए. Like 7th के NCERTs is for medieval history, and also 11th 12th में भी historical NCERTs are given for medieval. So for that medieval के लिए इतना will suffice. For ancient you can refer to R.S. Sharma, and also the NCERTs. NCERTs history में नहीं भूलना है. That is the crux की NCERTs पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है. Now how much time, that will depend on your own understanding and how much you have previously read. अगर आपने अच्छे से read कर रखा है पहले, so it will be over in like 15-20 days. कि ancient के लिए लगेंगे आपको 10-12 days अच्छे ज्यादा लगेंगे, and medieval के लिए क्योंकि आप सिर्फ NCERTs ही पढ़ोगे तो 7-8 days में या तो 4-5 days में भी आप easily cover कर सकते हो. So 20 days I think so आपका हिस्ट्री हो जाना चाहिए. बाकी मेडिवल हिस्ट्री, मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में भी टाइम लगेगा क्योंकि इट इज वेरी वास्ट, एंड जनरल स्टडीज में भी इसका कवरेज मेंस में ज्यादा है. So I think so history will take around 20-25 days. It will easily take if you are studying for the first time.
Thank you.
Suresh Kumar, can you please ask your question?
Yes sir, yes. मैं मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मतलब जैसे मैंने पहले भी क्वेश्चन पूछा था आपसे कि मतलब मेरे 85 नंबर आए थे पिछली बार के अटेम्प्ट में, बट मेरा नहीं हो पाया था, 87 कट ऑफ हो गई थी. तो मैम ऐसा मतलब क्या मतलब कुछ अलग से पढ़ते हो या क्या अलग से करते हो कि मतलब 85 to 100 जो 100 या 110 आपके नंबर आ जाते हैं मतलब जीएस में जनरली, बट वो क्रॉस नहीं कर पा रहे हम लोग. मतलब सारी चीजें पढ़ ली, स्पेक्ट्रम पढ़ लिया, मरनाल के सर के नोट्स हमने मतलब सारे पढ़ रखे, लक्ष्मीकांत मतलब वो सारा चीजें वो कर रखे. यहाँ 85 87 मतलब यही स्कोर मेरा रह रहा है, मतलब इसके ऊपर मेरा जा नहीं रहा, और बिकॉज ऑफ दिस 1-2 नंबर से मेरा प्रीलिम्स रह ही जा रहा है. मतलब तो क्या ऐसा करना चाहिए?
देखो अलग कुछ भी नहीं किया है, पढ़ा चीजें वही है, बस उनको बहुत ज्यादा पड़ा है। मतलब मुझे मेरे पिछले अटेम्प्ट्स का मालूम है कि जहां मैं उन चीजों को बस मतलब 2-3 बार या 3-4 बार पढ़ के चली जाती थी, बट क्योंकि मेरे प्रीलिम्स ही नहीं निकल रहे थे तो मैंने बिल्कुल नवंबर से ही पूरा शुरू कर दिया था। नवंबर दिसंबर से, आई रिमेम्बर कि नवंबर 15 से ही मैंने पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया था प्रीलिम्स का, दैट दिस विल बी द अटेम्प्ट जिसमें मेरा प्रीलिम्स निकलेगा। क्योंकि आई वाज प्रीटी कॉन्फिडेंट इन मेंस की मेंस के मेरे पास नोट्स हो चुके हैं। सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज कि पहले तो मतलब एनसीईआरटीज पढ़ो, बिकॉज दैट वाज आल्सो द वन थिंग दैट आई चेंज्ड कि 2022 में मैंने एनसीईआरटीज पढ़ी थी। द सेकंड थिंग दैट आई चेंज वाज द माइंडसेट। आई यूज्ड टू टेक द माइंडसेट कि मेरा नहीं हो रहा है और मुझे मतलब प्रीलिम्स मेरा इस साल भी नहीं निकलेगा। बोथ इन 2020 and 21 I was pretty underconfident at the examination hall and very anxious at the examination hall कि अरे नहीं हो रहा है, प्रीलिम्स बहुत टफ आ जाएगा, ऐसा आ जाएगा, वैसा आ जाएगा पेपर। सो वो मतलब एक माइंडसेट भी आपको एक विनिंग माइंडसेट ले जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज half of the battles are won by mind, by psychological warfare is also a thing. तो साइकोलॉजिकली यू हैव टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड कि पेपर तो टफ ही आएगा, कुछ भी करो, इट विल बी एन अनएक्सपेक्टेड टर्न फॉर मी, इट विल बी समथिंग दैट आई हैवंट सीन इन इयर्स। प्लीज मेक दैट माइंडसेट कि मुझे तो मतलब ये चीज तो मैंने कभी देखी नहीं होगी, दैट दे विल आस्क, देन आल्सो आई विल सेल इन द अनप्रेडिक्टेबल। तो टेक अ माइंडसेट ऑफ विनिंग इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल, बी प्रिपेयर्ड मेंटली कि चीजें जाएंगी ही, ओवरहैंड जाएंगी, the things will be not in my control, but the thing that will be in my control, जैसे कि static portion, I will be giving an accuracy of 90% plus in that. So take a winning mindset, revise a lot. Like I cannot remember the number of times I have revised Lakshmikant and Rajiv Vahidi. I cannot show you the condition. Their condition is so miserable. Like in 2022, I read them so many times. Like I have modern history just kept besides me. So you can see the condition, the whole of the pages have been torn out. So this was the condition that had my books were such in misery condition. So don't be ruthless towards you, study a lot, revise a lot. That was the one thing that I did in 2022 and it worked.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And one thing, Suresh, I'll tell you something, that you are on the verge, okay? You are on getting 80-85 marks. That means the one extra thing that you have to do is you have to cut down upon your wrong answers. Even if you remove 5 negative questions now, and if you get them right, maybe some silly mistakes, maybe some overthinking, you are above the cutoff. So work upon that as well.
Analyze your own what you are doing wrong in the examination hall. Like what I did was कि मैंने जब 2022 का 2021 नहीं हुआ था, तो the paper that I was having with me 2021 वाला भी and 20 वाला भी, कि जो पेपर मेरे पास था, I analyzed them कि मैंने क्या गलती की है, and the one thing that I found was that the questions that I had done wrong, मैंने उनमें 2 ऑप्शंस टिक कर रखे थे, and generally क्या हुआ था कि मैंने एक ऑप्शन को कट करके दूसरा किया था, तो that showed that I overthink on that questions and I changed the answers. तो मैंने फिर 2022 में ये किया था कि the thing that I had in my subconscious mind and जो मैंने सोच ली थी कि हाँ यही चीज होगी, तो I just wrote a letter कि नहीं, be confident in it, you have the reason for thinking for the same. क्योंकि जब आप मतलब वापस क्वेश्चन को रिविजिट करते हो ना, you usually overthink over that aspect. So analyze why are you doing questions wrong? I did it for myself and you would be having your own reasons for it. You're such on words, please analyze your own what you're doing wrong.
Okay, ma'am.
Ashia?
मैम मेरे 2 डाउट्स रह गए थे। मैम मुझे पूछना था कि एनसीईआरटी के नोट्स कैसे बनाने। मैंने क्या किया, मैंने क्लासेस अटेंड की तो अंडरलाइन किया जो इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है, फिर मैं उन्हीं को वापस रिवाइज कर रही हूँ क्योंकि 2024 में मेरा अटेम्प्ट है। तो फिर मैं सोच रही हूँ कि मैं नोट्स के नाम बना के जो मैंने अंडरलाइन किया उससे ही रिवाइज करूँ। तो मैम ये ठीक अप्रोच है ना एनसीईआरटी के लिए?
एनसीईआरटी जब भी आप पढ़ो, जैसे कि आप 6th की एनसीईआरटी उठा रहे हो या कोई सी भी एनसीईआरटी से उठा रहे हो, 11th 12th की एनसीईआरटी उठा रहे हो, सो व्हाटएवर एक्स्ट्रा थिंग्स आर गिवन ऑन दैट, जैसे कि फिगर्स जो हैं आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन द आईज ऑफ यूपीएससी, तो जस्ट हैव कि जो चीजें आपको वहां पे दिख रही हैं, यू हैव दैट रिटन इन योर नोट्स और इन योर रेफरेंस बुक्स. जैसे कि इफ यू आर हैविंग 6th की एनसीईआरटीज, सो देयर आर मेनी इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन फिगरिंग्स इन 6th क्लास एनसीईआरटीज, जिससे डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी ने पूछे हैं पास्ट में. सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज कि जब भी आप वो, अगर आप कोचिंग के नोट्स ही पढ़ रहे हो या मतलब आप कोई से भी बुक्स पढ़ रहे हो, लाइक जैसे आपने आर.एस. शर्मा एज अ रेफरेंस रेफर की है, सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज जस्ट राइट ऑन दी, टेक वन पेज, राइट इट डाउन कि ये चीजें इसमें फर्दर ऐड हुई है. लाइक आई शोड यू इन माय मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री बुक. लाइक व्हाट यू कैन डू इज कि जैसे एक आधा पेज आप यू कैन स्टिक टू इट like this. So stick to it. That will help you whenever you are revisiting that question, ki revisiting that topic, ki this was all given in NCERTs and you have made it further value added. इससे हो जाएगा.
यस मैम, मैंने यही अप्रोच रखी हुई है कि जो ऐड करना है वो, जैसे मैम नोट्स बनाने में टाइम ज्यादा लगता है तो इससे टाइम का भी बचत होती है, तो मैंने यही अप्रोच रखी. और मैम मुझे एक बात और पूछनी थी, सिलेबस के जो की पॉइंट्स है उन पे नोट्स कैसे बनाना?
सिलेबस के की पॉइंट्स के आपके मेंस के पर्सपेक्टिव के ही नोट्स बनाने हैं. जैसा मैंने आपको बताया था पहले भी कि टेक्निकल वर्ड्स का या कोई से भी चीजों का, जैसे कि जो आपको एग्जांपल्स और ये सब दिख रहे हैं उन सब का. अगर मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री है तो उसमें कॉजेस, इफेक्ट, वेरियस डायमेंशंस एंड व्हाट वाज द ओवरऑल स्ट्रेटजी दैट ब्रिटिश टुक और आईएनसी टुक आफ्टर सच एंड सच इवेंट, that will be very helpful, or the role of various figures in that. So that type of notes you can make for like modern history. और अगर दूसरे हैं जैसे politics है, so you have to make notes of articles. That will be like as per the demand, कि articles के notes हैं on various things that has been said. Like I am being a person of PSIR, so I used to also write comments of various editorials or various political strategists or thinkers upon such and such things. So you can do the same if you're not having PSIR as an option. So just have a general overview of the things like for GS paper 2.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Saurav again.
हेलो मैम, मैं पिछले बार एक क्वेश्चन पूछ गया था. मेरा यह क्वेश्चन है कि एग्जाम में ज़्यादा एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. जैसे पढ़ तो ले रहे हैं, नोट्स भी बना ले पा रहे हैं, एग्जीक्यूट ज़्यादा नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, अटेम्प्ट नहीं, नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट नहीं बढ़ पा रहा है, तो रिमेम्बर भी ज़्यादा चीज़ नहीं रह पा रही है. तो आपने क्या किया था जो आपको प्रीलिम्स के लिए ज़्यादा चीज़ें याद रही और एग्जीक्यूट की हैं?
रिविजन और प्रैक्टिस. मैंने जब मतलब 2022 में मैंने कम से कम 3-4 कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स की जो टेस्ट सीरीज होती है प्रीलिम्स की वो मंगवा ली थी. एंड जब भी मेरा कोई सा भी टॉपिक खत्म होता था उसको रिवाइज करने के बाद आई यूज्ड टू गिव टेस्ट सीरीज नॉट ओनली फ्रॉम वन इंस्टीट्यूट बट 3-4 इंस्टीट्यूट जो उनके टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से रहता था कि कौन सी टेस्ट सीरीज या ये सब करना है. सो इट विल हेल्प यू बोथ इन रिविजन से आपका वो बढ़ेगा, नॉलेज बेस बढ़ेगा एंड प्रैक्टिस करने से वो चीज आपकी और मतलब पक्की होती जाएगी. सो प्रैक्टिस अ लॉट, रिवाइज अ लॉट.
सौरभ एक चीज याद रखना, जितने भी टेस्ट सीरीज होती है ना उनमें देखो एक्सप्लेनेशन हमेशा रहते हैं एनी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट. तो मेरे फंडा रहता था कि जो लास्ट के 15-20 दिन होते थे उनमें मैं सभी जो जितने भी टेस्ट सीरीज में लगाए रहता था उन सबके एक्सप्लेनेशन जरूर देखता था. उससे मुझे एंड में रिवीजन अच्छा हो जाता था, प्लस वो चीजें याद रहती थी. क्योंकि जरूरी नहीं कि वो सेम क्वेश्चन आएगा, 0.001% चांसेस है कि सेम क्वेश्चन आए, बट टॉपिक जरूर आ सकता है. 40% चांसेस है किसी भी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट के टेस्ट सीरीज के टॉपिक्स आने के. ठीक है, तो एंड मोमेंट पर वो रिवीजन भी आपको याद रहता है क्योंकि आपने जस्ट फ्रेश पढ़ा है प्रीलिम्स से. ठीक है,
दैट इज अ वेरी गुड स्ट्रेटजी सर, कि आंसर कीज पढ़ लो तो उससे रिवाइज भी हो जाएगा एंड ओवरऑल यू विल बी हैविंग अ बेटर नॉलेज, वाइडर नॉलेज.
हाँ, क्योंकि एक ही पीडीएफ में आपको 100 क्वेश्चंस मिल रहे हैं. आप अगर वो 100 टॉपिक्स ढूंढने बुक में जाओगे तो यू वुड हैव टू फ्लिप अ लॉट ऑफ पेजेस, बट हियर यू कैन फाइंड एवरीथिंग अंडर अ सिंगल अम्ब्रेला. Okay, and make sure सौरभ देखो ये पूरा वेबिनार नोट मेकिंग के ऊपर है. Better your notes are, the better your revision will be. क्योंकि लिखी हुई चीज हमेशा याद रहती है. ठीक है, अंजलि प्लीज आस्क योर क्वेश्चन.
यस सर. मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन एक बच्चे ने पहले पूछा था, उसके ऊपर ही बेस्ड है. तो वो पूछ रहा था कि प्रीलिम्स से पहले बुक्स पढ़े, रेफरेंस बुक्स जो स्टैंडर्ड बुक है या नहीं. तो आप दोनों ने बताया कि वो तो उसको कोई रिप्लेस कर ही नहीं सकता. तो एम लक्ष्मीकांत जैसे पॉलिटी के लिए और राजीव वहीर और एनसीईआरटी फॉर हिस्ट्री. सो मैम आपने क्या पढ़ा था इसका इकोनॉमिक्स एंड जियोग्राफी के?
इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए मैंने मृणाल सर के नोट्स पढ़े थे, हैंडआउट्स दैट आर गिवन. They are quite bulky, but if you just highlight the important parts, तो वो बहुत जल्दी रिवाइज हो जाते हैं. Apart from it, for geography, I read 11th-12th NCERTs and also GC Leong in a very fast pace. Like ecosystems जो है GC Leong का mainly, like the savannas and the all the climate of GC Leong. I read that. For history, it would suffice 11th-12th NCERTs. And also the GC Leong.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hi, Aditya.
मैम मेरे 2 क्वेश्चंस हैं. मैम फर्स्ट मेरे ये है कि मैम आपने करंट अफेयर्स और एनवायरनमेंट के लिए क्या फॉलो किया था. और मैम मेरा सेकंड क्वेश्चन, मैम पढ़ते तो सब हैं मैम, व्हाट extra did you?
See,
What
for
you did
environment, you can either refer to Shankar IAS environment book, or you can also refer to various PDFs that are provided. लेकिन environment के लिए there is one thing that you should refer is IISc board की environment book. That is very helpful. That has various aspects. तो उसकी environment book was very helpful. You can either read both of them or either read one of them. I would prefer कि शंकर पहले पढ़ लो, या उसके बाद फिर IISc की बुक बहुत जल्दी से complete हो जाती है. It is very short and it is mainly of a revision or secondary book. Second environment हो गया. Second क्या पूछा था?
मैम सेकंड पूछा था मैंने करंट अफेयर्स के बारे में.
करंट अफेयर्स के लिए सी डेली आई यूज्ड टू रीड न्यूज़पेपर्स. उसके अलावा सिविल्सडेली के जो आपके वो आते हैं न्यूज़पेपर स्नैपशॉट्स आते हैं, वो पढ़ती थी. वो डेली पढ़ना है. इट विल गिव एन ओवरव्यू कि कौन सी चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है, कौन सी नहीं है. फैक्ट और फिगर्स भी वहां से कलेक्ट हो जाते हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम इट, यू कैन ऑल्सो रिफर टू मंथली मैगजीन that are also very helpful and that will help you revise कि जो पिछले महीने हुआ हो. So monthly magazines you can either refer to Vision or Samachar Manthan by Civilsdaily, or also there are various books like Insights also give, so you can use that.
मैम मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन मैम व्हाट यू डिड एक्स्ट्रा. आपने इतने
डिफरेंस क्या था?
डिफरेंस ये था कि मैंने प्रैक्टिस बहुत की थी. मतलब फॉर प्रीलिम्स भी मैंने इस बार प्रैक्टिस बहुत की थी. फॉर मेंस भी जैसे कि पीपल आवर लाइक कि इट वाज माय फर्स्ट मेंस एंड आई गॉट 184 रैंक, सो दे वर लाइक इट्स अ प्रीटी गुड रैंक फॉर फर्स्ट मेंस अपीयर. सो इट्स लाइक कि हाँ, आई प्रैक्टिस्ड अ लॉट. Like daily answer writing was my one of the habit that I used to do before going to bed. कि कुछ भी जो भी पढ़ा है, I will write an answer and just have the read it synopsis or read its mock answers that are given to help me analyze कि क्या लिखा है, क्या भूल गए. And सुबह उठते से अगर जैसे कि कोई सी चीज है जो आपने एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ी हो वो mock answers में, so what I did was कि सुबह उठते से ही you have to be very determined कि मुझे ये चीज में इतने ज्यादा मार्क्स लाने हैं, इतना टारगेट करना है और इससे ज्यादा ही क्रॉस करना है. सो लाइक आई थिंक कि आई मेड अ टारगेट कि मुझे 800 प्लस लाना है मेंस में. आई अचीव्ड इट, बट आई थिंक दैट आई शुड हैव मेड अ लार्जर टारगेट कि 850 प्लस रखना चाहिए था. So might be I would have practiced more and might be I had worked hard. So the thing is कि you have to practice a lot, make your targets and सुबह उठते से ही be determined that you have to work for it. जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि मैं आंसर राइटिंग करती थी सोने से पहले, तो सोने के उठने के बाद मैं सबसे पहले वही चीज करती थी कि जो चीजें मैंने नहीं लिखी है, जो मॉक आंसर्स में एक्स्ट्रा लिखी हुई है, आई यूज टू राइट इट डाउन कि मेरे या तो नोट्स में या अगर टेक्निकल टर्म्स है तो जस्ट ऑन दी दैट आई शोड की स्प्रिंग कॉपी में बस छोटा सा लिख लिया है कि ये टेक्निकल टर्म्स हैं चीजों के।
हेलो मैम।
Wait a minute, Munif. Alok has raised hand before you. Okay, so I'll first give chance to Alok. This is first come first get basis wala funda hai yahan par. So Alok, please go ahead with your question. Then Munif, you ask your question.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing this opportunity, and congratulations, ma'am. Ma'am, my question, the question which I have, like, what kind of value addition we can have, we can put in case of ethics from current affairs?
For current affairs, like, see, you can take value addition from various examples that are given. Like, for role of civil servant in society is to protect and develop the society, not to oppress it. Now you can write the role of police in French society. Now the people were getting beaten up by French police, and the riots were getting out of control. So there are various cases of police violence in that. So you can use that. Second is like various examples you can use, like Russia-Ukraine war you can use as a threat to humanity, or various things like how national interest plays the role of ethical. There was a question like previous year about national interest and ethics. So you can write that how, when you write how national interest comes over the ethical part, so you can write about Russia-Ukraine war, and when you write the counter of it, like ethics are also part of national interest, so you can write India's Vasudev Kutumbakam. So this all things you can write as an examples in your ethics. So all the current happenings that are happening can be wrote like. There was also an issue where Iran police, the moral police, killed women in Iran due to hijab. So you can write the role of how various things can come into play, and how there are norms that come into play, and how these norms play into the role of our society or play at the ground level. So these examples you can always use when you're writing for ethics. These examples will, and this will prove that you have a dynamic edge in your answers.
Okay, ma'am. Can we put negative points like in case of Manipur violence? There is a failure of the district administration, and then subsequently state administration, and after that central administration. So can we put those points also in case, just to explain any point? So is it okay to have any negative point or critic point?
Negative point you can have, but I think so that it should be properly balanced, because you are going to be a part of the government and you are seeking to be a part of government. You can be critical, but you have to be very balanced in writing that answers. Like, you should not write like total failure. You should write challenges in controlling Manipur violence. Not writing that the total failure of the administration or total failure. You can write that hardships in controlling Manipur violence, or the challenges in controlling Manipur violence. Don't be too negative, I would suggest that.
And don't take names. Never do names.
Never take names, yes. Like you're writing CM's name, no, don't write it.
We can refer post name, if there is a district.
No, you cannot.
I said now, be very cautious. Write just challenges in controlling Manipur violence. Just don't write like district administration failure or the policing failure, or you're writing the name of the SP. No need to write such names. Refrain from name calling or cat calling someone. You don't have to be like a pass wali pados wali auntie giving a taunt or something like that. Just write what are the challenges in that things. Don't be very critical of each and everything.
See, I'm the head of the copy evaluation as well. Okay, so I see a lot of copies where, in terms of transparency and accountability, good governance in paper 2 and paper 4 topics, I see a lot of them referring to the scams. Okay, that is totally fine. But when they take the name of the accused or the previous UPA government, then they are taking the names, and we always suggest that do not take the names, be it the core secretary of that time. Okay, Munir, you were asking question.
हेलो मैम, मेरा जो पहला क्वेश्चन है तो वो ऐसे राइटिंग को लेकर है कि जैसे कि आजकल टू टाइप्स के ऐसे पूछे जा रहे हैं, एक मूर्त एक अमूर्त टाइप में। एक फिलोसफिकल ऐसे यानी 4 ऐसे फिलोसफिकल आते हैं और 4 जीएस पेपर पर बेस होती हैं। लेकिन मुझे जो थोड़ा सा क्रिटिकल लगता है कि जो अमूर्त ऐसे जो फिलोसफिकल ऐसे होते हैं उनको उनकी भूमिका, उनकी पृष्ठभूमि कैसे, उनका इंट्रो कैसे तैयार किया जाए, तो आपने उसके लिए क्या बेहतर प्रीफर बुक करी थी या आपने उसके लिए कुछ नोट्स बनाए थे? तो आई सजेस्ट कि फिलोसफिकल ऐसे के लिए क्या किया था आपने?
मैंने ऐसे के लिए नोट्स तो नहीं बनाए थे। जो आपके पास इवेंट्स और ये सब के बहुत सारा, क्योंकि आप ऑलरेडी नॉलेज लेके चलते हो, तो दैट नोट्स कैन बी यूज्ड इन ऐसे एज वेल। जैसे कि रोल ऑफ वेरियस इन्वेंटर्स यू विल रीड इन वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, तो दैट कैन बी यूज। जैसे कि रोल ऑफ जेम्स वॉटसन और रोल ऑफ जैसे स्टीम इंजन बनाने वाले जो इंजीनियर थे, so that roles you can use. You already have too much of knowledge, you just need to execute it. So for that what I used to do is I used to write anecdote, so that was helpful in essay, I think so, because it helps break the ice and start writing about various dimensions ki aap kya kya likhoge. Have help from toppers copy who have scored well in essay and how they write, and try to incorporate in your writing as well, and practice for essay. इसके अलावा जो कोट्स और ये सारी चीजें जो आप इंक्लूड करोगे एथिक्स में, दैट कैन बी फ्रीली यूज विद एसेज। तो ऐसे में सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपको ज्यादा चीजें नहीं, कीप इट सिंप्लीफाइड, डोंट ओवर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, डायमेंशंस अच्छे लिखो। इसके अलावा यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर नाइस मार्क्स। बस उसका मतलब आपका इंट्रो, कंक्लूजन एंड ओवरऑल बॉडी का फ्लो अच्छा होना चाहिए। इट शुड नॉट बी अ ब्रेकिंग ऐसे कि पहले आप कुछ और बोल रहे थे। द कनेक्टिविटी ऑफ द एसे शुड बी गुड, सो कंटिन्यूटी मेंटेन करो, प्रैक्टिस इट एंड इट विल कम टू यू।
Okay, so the last question of the day before we wind up, and it belongs to Anjali.
मैम मेरा 2024 में ये फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट है, तो मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड है करंट अफेयर से। मैम जैसे क्वेश्चन आएंगे करंट अफेयर से, लेकिन इसमें हम मेरा न्यूज़पेपर पूरा नहीं हो पाता है, तो मैं इसके बजाय जो मंथली मैगजीन होती, नहीं डेली मैगजीन होती है, उसके ऊपर मैम रिलाई कर सकती हूँ मैं नोट्स के लिए उसमें से, और पूरा ये मतलब कवर करने के लिए करंट अफेयर्स?
देखो मतलब डेली जो समरीज आती है दैट आर हेल्पफुल, बिकॉज आप एक या ज्यादा से ज्यादा 2 न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ पाओगे दिन भर में, बाकी आप नहीं पढ़ पाओगे। एंड जैसे मैं सिविल्स डेली फॉलो करती थी, सो उसमें मतलब काफी डाइवर्स नॉलेज और डाइवर्स मतलब एडिटोरियल्स और ये सब मिल जाते हैं, तो उससे हेल्प मिल जाती थी डाइवर्सिफाई करने में। बट आई वुड सजेस्ट कि डेली जो समरीज है वो तो पढ़ो ही, लेकिन न्यूज़पेपर की हैबिट भी प्लीज डालो, because it will help you in reading comprehension in CSAT as well. क्योंकि आप जब एडिटोरियल्स पढ़ते हो एंड एडिटोरियल्स के पढ़ने के बाद you see the heading what is there, so it will help you in analyzing कि हाँ पैसेज में what all things you can use, कि हाँ ये चीजें हैं। So use that कि when you are reading editorials it will help you in overall, एंड वो मतलब आपको ना जैसे कि कुछ कुछ चीजें होंगी दैट आर नॉट गिवन इन डेली न्यूज़पेपर्स और समरी, बट दैट आर वेरी मच गिवन इन न्यूज़पेपर्स, जैसे कि द रोल ऑफ सोसाइटी और द लिव इन रिलेशनशिप्स। वी हैड सीन various murders in that was so unfortunate, so you can use that examples, that how the role of society, the change is there, like in live-in relationships, while people are moving forward, but there are various things that are going on and leading to unscrupulous murders and all that things. So you can use that things that are going on daily that can be used a lot. Like I used one of the example in wisdom about one of the IPS officer of Bangalore that sang national anthem and dispersed the crowd of CA and RC protest. That was very good example in using how you can use wisdom and how non-violently he dispersed the crowd. So I gave the example of wisdom in that in the ethics paper. So such examples will come to you when you are very actively reading the newspapers. So read newspapers, I would suggest that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. And with that, let's wind up our session. And hum chale kahan gaye? Yes, here we are. We are back on the screen. And once again, thanks a lot, Ayasha. And again, I'll repeat my joke. Okay, I'll again repeat my joke. Let the real Ayasha please stand up. And people who are preparing for 2024, let me tell you one thing. We have a lot of super mentors like Ayasha over here. For example, rank 22 Pawan Datta, rank 48 Adit Pandey, they are starting their batch. And what we do, we personally mentor you. And apart from the personal mentor, there are other people like toppers and rankers and program heads like me, Sajal, Jishan and Sukanya. We take care of your macro preparation. So holistic angle we will provide. You have the idea to approach the paper, be it essay, be it paper 1, 2, 3, 4, prelims, CSAT, everything will be taken care of. And you will have regular sessions like these with rankers, with people like us who have given 3 interviews, 4 interviews, and we know how to clear prelims and mains on a consistent basis. So if you want, you can join the super mentorship program as well. My team will contact you. Don't worry about it. And thanks a lot once again, Ayasha. It has been what? 2.15 hours since we have. Okay. And I got this opportunity and I'm very fortunate enough to have interacted with you today. I got a lot of insight even after preparing from last, what, 11 years? Okay. My attempts got over when you started. Okay, so even right now I am giving my UPSC examination. I belong from Uttar Pradesh. So a lot of things that you told are even helpful for me. Okay, and I'm very grateful for you. And thanks a lot everyone for the patience that you guys have shown. Okay, initially we had 88, 85 people, and still we have a good amount of people staying back till the end of the session. That speaks a lot. And before winding up, let me ask one thing. Saurabh has raised his hand once again. So can we take his question before?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Saurabh. Please make sure that whatever doubts you have, you ask that doubt fully and finally over here.
जी सर, मैं यह पूछना चाह रहा था कि कुछ जो 2023 में जो प्रीलिम्स जो देने वाले हैं 24 में देने वाले, उसके लिए मैम कुछ मैसेज दें जो प्रीलिम्स अच्छे से क्वालिफाई।
बिल्कुल आपको कंसिस्टेंट रहना है. There are 4 things that work for me and I think so that would work for you also. First is the dedication, second is the planning, and third is the discipline, and fourth is the consistency. These 4 things that I said DPDC. So this worked for me a lot and I hope that it would work for you as well. इन चारों चीजों को आपको डेली प्रैक्टिस करना है. ये डिसिप्लिन में रहना है कि इफ यू हैव जॉट डाउन की 10-12 घंटे पढ़ना है तो बिल्कुल वही टाइम पे बैठना है. Nothing should stop you. Nothing should be an excuse for you कि ये चीजें नहीं हुई आज इसलिए नहीं. It might be an issue कि आपको टाइम कम पड़ गया just because कभी हो सकता है कि कोचिंग लेट छूटी हो. But other than that, there should be no issue. There should be a no excuse policy for you कि always be on your tiptoe कि हमें काम करना है and be very, very dedicated towards your goal.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Ayasha.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
It's always our pleasure. ठीक है. It was such an insightful webinar. And मुझे याद नहीं मैंने इतना लंबा webinar last time कब host किया था. And thanks for your patience as well. You have been a really good host along with me. ठीक है. So.
I also want to thank all the students. They have asked very tough questions as well. So thank you everyone, and thank you Parth sir for giving me an opportunity. will be very happy to be of further help, sir.
Yes, and hopefully I'll see you in Uttar Pradesh. ठीक है.
I hope not, sir.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. You'll come
Yes,
soon.
sir. Okay, sir.
I'll
Thank
jinx
you.
it. I'll jinx it. Okay.
Yes.
With that, let's wind up the session. Everyone, thanks a lot. All the best for your endeavors. My team will get in touch with you regarding rest of your doubts. You will be getting calls from senior mentors from our team, and they will be guiding you in whatever doubts you have. Okay. And with that, I take your leave. All the best, guys. Good evening. And thanks a lot, Ayasha, once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.